RENARS PODCAST.
Intro music. So we show a little bit of your moves. Sam,
This is a bit.
have you got any moves?
Who's
That's what's up. Okay, in the house today we have Sam Masey, who is my amazing pad holder. So he's a pro fighter, and that's all I know about you, Sam. You're a pro fighter and very funny dude. Like every time we do pads or are training together, like I always see you like this amazing positive energy and stuff. And so I thought I'm gonna invite you for a little chat. How are you, buddy?
Yes, brother. I'm good, mate. How are you?
Fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. So let's start with, so you're pro fighter, right? Is that what's your title, right?
Technically, yeah. I mean, my last two fights have been professional. My last fight was a year ago in Thailand, and then prior to that, I had a professional K1 fight before that. But even before that, I only had like 3 amateur semi-pro fights. So
Right.
I'm still very, very early on.
So how did the whole journey started with like, okay, I want to do fighting, I want to start training. How did you get into training in the first place? And which was your first martial art?
It started in lockdown. My first martial art ever, my first sport ever, to be honest with you, was Muay Thai.
Okay.
So I started in lockdown, went down to Pride, and then I was just doing the classes. And then next thing I know, I was staying later because obviously there wasn't really much. You couldn't go to gyms because everything was closed.
Yeah.
So I was staying later, just doing all them sort of things, hitting the bag. And then the head coach Martin just took more of like an approach to me. Obviously seeing me doing the work and stuff like that.
Shout out to Martin.
Shout out Martin.
Yeah, we're gonna put his beautiful face right here.
Big up
He's
Martin,
really
main
cool
man.
dude, amazing guy.
So yeah, but no, thanks to him, like he obviously sort of took me under his wing, and then from there, like opportunities just come left, right, and centre. And to be honest with you, I was like just too embarrassed to say no to things. Even if he was a bit nervous, saying, "No, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that." I was just too embarrassed to say no. So I was like, yeah, the ego sort of got in the way. And then next thing you know, I was just fighting 24/7.
And for people to understand, so location of the gym, which Martin is the head coach and the owner. So it used to be right in central Bracknell.
Yeah.
Is that where you start training, right?
Yeah, that's why I trained in. Yeah.
So and then now it's a little bit. What is it? What is the name of that area?
Bagshot now. Literally just up the road. So it's just up the road with Bagshot. It's to be honest with you, I think it's actually a bit of a better place than where it was. Bracknell's obviously a good area. It's good for me because I live there. But Bagshot, with the links it has to the M3 and stuff like that, opens up to a lot more people. So from a business standpoint, it's a lot better. We've got our own building, private parking.
And the name of the gym or the club is the Pride. So Pride Athletics, right?
Pride Combat Athletics, yeah.
Pride Combat Athletics. Every time I type in when I need to go to Pride, for some reason takes me to Soho, to central London. And then before, so there was no other gyms. It was just this Pride Combat Athletics.
Pretty much.
Is it
Pride Combat Athletics.
Yeah, that's like, Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much. I've done like a little bit of training like a couple of years before for like a month or two, but nothing like serious at all, to be honest with you.
Right.
And then when I went to Pride is when I really like sort of stepped it up.
But that's in general, that's not that many years.
No,
so
not
since you
at all.
started doing Muay Thai, how many years has it been now?
What was lockdown? 2020? I first walked in the gym end of 2020.
It's very recent.
Yeah, very recent.
It's really recent.
I sort of had like end of 2020, and then obviously I was still getting into it. I'm not like weren't like a natural at the sport or nothing like that. And then I after about 8-9 months, then it started upping it, and then we had we're talking about actually having a fight. We had a few interclubs and stuff like that, which is just like hard sparring, so nothing like that. And then from there, he was like, right, let's get a fight booked in. And I just took it seriously. I knew I wanted to. It's something I wanted to do, and I knew it wasn't like. It was a dangerous sport, so I knew I had to take it seriously. So I just put my head down, done all the right training, done things outside of the gym that like some other people weren't doing at the time, like where you just do the classes sort of thing.
Right.
I was training outside of the classes. I was going to other gyms, doing this and that, and and then just from there, I just took the opportunities that come to me. To be honest with you,
Yeah. And then why Muay Thai straight away? I'm gonna ask because there's kickboxing, there's boxing, there's and kickboxing and Muay Thai. For some people who don't understand, the main biggest difference is that in kickboxing, you're not going to use your elbows and your knees.
And the clinch. You can use the knees. Clinch. You can like your knee and release in K1. You can still knee to the head, but you can't use the clinch really, and you can't pull the head down.
Right.
To be honest with you, I started like training at the start just because I wanted to actually properly be able to defend myself like correctly. Okay. I didn't actually have any intention to do like Muay Thai or kickboxing for that. If I'm honest, I wanted to do MMA. And then I just
was you struggling to go down the Bracknell and you get mugged and stuff? Was that the case?
Nah, I've never had that sort of issue, but I was a very aware person. That
so why would you say that you wanted to learn how to defend yourself?
Because you see people these days, everyone's walking around with knives, weapons, this and that. Do you know what I mean? You actually, and you think you see people all the time. They think they can fight. You can think you can defend yourself. Then you come down to a gym and you put a pair of gloves on and you realise you actually can't.
Yeah.
So it's like, I actually wanted to, for my own safety, for when I get older, for my family and stuff like that, I want to be able to protect them. I want to make sure that if anything happens, I can fully look after myself. And that was the main thing. And now I've done it, I think every man should at least step into the ring once and try it.
Right.
It's just it's an experience. It's
yeah,
crazy.
but then in the same time, there's a huge difference between what is ring and what is on the street.
100%.
And there's a knife and whatever. If I see what knife, I fucking run.
Oh, if I see a knife, I'm running.
Yeah,
I ain't chatting.
That's 100%.
Yeah, no way.
But if I would have my girlfriend next to me or someone, vulnerable and I want to protect, I probably would do the longest kick I can, just to try to push the fuck them away.
Yeah, it's more just
whatever.
for even a confidence thing, just to be able to know that you can protect yourself if something was to go down, I can adequately look after myself.
Yeah.
And that was the main thing, to be honest.
Oh, sweet.
And then
before you got into fighting and stuff, did you, so you said you're 27 years old now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, super young still. And then, so what did you do before that? Did you go uni?
So I left school. I was meant to go to I think it was sixth form. And I remember a week before, my dad pulled me aside. He was like, "Sam, mate, that ain't for you." He was like, "I got you a job doing chippying," which is not fishing, not in the fish and chip shop, but I was doing carpentry and stuff. I was doing carpentry and that. So I was doing that for a bit. And then it just weren't for me. I went on holiday and I come back and I was like, I ain't going back to that job. I ain't doing that again.
Yeah.
And then I think I ended up, was it roofing? No, I done a little bit of roofing for a little bit. And then I was like, again, it's too cold. I can't do this. So then I went and be an estate agent because I thought I could be in the office, out of the office. That was good for a little bit. But then I got bored of being in an office. So then I went back to roofing because it was fun being outside with my pals and that. And then what happened? And then lockdown happened. And then I had no job for 8-9 months. So I was just doing nothing, to be honest. And then I was I was doing the weights and stuff like that, but even then that got a bit boring. So I wanted something a bit else. And then since I started training Muay Thai, that was just, I've been hooked ever since. It's like an obsession.
And then for you, the vision is to be to continue to be a professional fighter, to be more involved in also the coaching. And it's how do you see
To be honest, I never wanted to be a coach, if I'm honest with you. My main thing was obviously just to do fighting and then just see how far it went. And then obviously at the start of this year, I got injured. And then that's what really progressed my coaching more, because it was either at that point it was either sit out of the sport and not do it and then just sort of stay away and wait till I get healed up, or I just keep myself immersed in it and just focus on doing something else and helping out the gym and stuff like that. So, and then from that, it ended up being my full-time job now. So,
because one of the biggest things about fighters and also I'm working as a stuntman now for how many years? It's we need to have a B plan
100%.
if we get injuries, right? So, and especially for you, I think stunties get less injured than you fuckers. The shit what you guys do and the injuries you can get. So that's why I would say you always should have something in the pocket.
I learned that quite quick that unless you make it real big, there's not a lot of money in this sport, sort of thing. It may look like it, but you're not going to make millions and millions unless you're one of the top fighters.
Right.
So yeah, you do need to have a backup sort of thing. And to be honest with you, I love the sport and I love everything about it. So if I can make it my full-time job to then, after fighting, to then potentially have my own gym, to then do coaching and stuff like that, have my own fighters, yeah, I'll be happy with that.
So you, when I was going to Bali, you came to Bali as well. You when you were there, you never called me. So I don't know if I can see this.
No, I was in a bad way.
Don't even go there. I don't want to hear those excuses. It's enough. Hurt my feelings. But you would go to Thailand, right? So what would that experience to compare how it's in UK, and then it's not only you went to Pride Gym, you went to some other gyms as well, and then now you're going to Thailand, where the fucking martial art is from, and it's a root, and it's just different.
It's crazy.
How was it for you to feel that?
What, to go out to Thailand?
Yeah, just experience
Thailand is I can't explain the place. It's just the best place. It's so laid back. Everyone's just so chilled. Everyone's just so happy. In terms of fighting side of things as well. In England, it can be made as just such a it's a beef thing. If you're fighting someone, it's you hate him, you want to kill him, everything like that. Out in Thailand, they don't care. They're out there having a laugh. You go out there and you lose a fight, you'd be devastated, and they'll just be so you fight tomorrow, you win, you'll be happy again. They're it's a sport. And I think that's the bit I like about it, is the sport of it and the actual tradition, the traditional style of it, the culture of it all. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
So what are the biggest competitions, with biggest purses or whatever they call them, the biggest possibility to win money and win stuff?
In Muay Thai, I'm pretty sure, I see it the other day, I think one one release that they paid Rodtang the most ever purse for a Muay Thai fight, and I think it was only like 250 grand. Or say only, it's a lot of money. But I mean,
Well,
he's like,
you say only because you compare with the MMA and
if you compare it to boxing when they're
whatever.
getting like 10 mil and stuff like that, yeah. But I mean, obviously, there's a lot of other stuff you're getting with it because you can get like the sponsorships and stuff like that. So that's where you're getting your money. And then obviously, the more following you get, the seminars, all that other stuff, that's where you can get a lot more money and stuff from it. I think, to be honest, if you're doing Muay Thai, you should do it for the fact and stuff like that. You should do it because you love the sport, and then that will progress you further. If you want to do it for money and stuff, you're probably better off going into boxing or something like that. Maybe that's what I think anyway. If you're in it for the money, I reckon go for boxing.
You should be like career advisor and
100%. Thai boxing is hard, man.
You want to like make a lot of money and don't do much? Go boxing.
If you're mental, do Thai boxing because it's painful. It's so painful. Like, it's just you get injured left, right, and centre, and you just got to deal with it. So you break your toe. It's like, all right, you got 9 others. Carry on.
But I mean, like, listen, like, but all of those martial arts in a certain level, they are freaking all dangerous. You know what they were talking? I was just listening. They were talking about boxing. Yeah, boxing is like it's gloves and just punch to the head. But at the same time, the injuries you get, like getting punched in the head over and over and over. Let's say if you do MMA, right? You get submit someone with a rear choke or whatever, so they're out. No one is hurt, and went on a skill. But also like Muay Thai as well would be like when they have those standoffishy kind of concept of I kick your leg, you kick my leg, I kick your leg till one of us drop. Like, fuck me. Shin flies in your head. It's like, it's nasty. Yeah, I'm like, I totally agree. And I think also it's from striking martial arts, it's the most devastating martial art there is.
I think so.
I think so.
Especially the way One Championship's doing it at the moment. And it's like to Muay Thai and them little 4-ounce gloves. It's mental. They're just standing banging it. It's crazy. It's probably the most entertaining thing you could watch. That and bare knuckle boxing, it's like so entertaining because it's just 2 people just standing there and having it. It's crazy. Like, how could you?
Earlier, you mentioned about how you said in the UK people almost make it personal. So like I need to kill you. Right? It's not like a sport. As you said, like a Thai people, they're like, oh, just fun. So I was earlier thinking about this today when I thought I'm gonna have you over. How? Like in your experience, were you able to just differentiate and say like it's just a sport, or you would say like okay, I need to like it's almost like a personal vendetta? Like how is it for you? Yeah,
for me personally, I go for a bit of it can. To be honest with you, it sort of depends on what I'm going through at the time. I like to sort of my last fight. I was just because I've been out for like 8-9 months at the time. That's the longest I've had out since I started fighting. So for me, it was like I was just excited to get in there and just show what I've learned and stuff like that, and see how good I've got. So for me, that was good there. The one before that, it was like I had a point to prove. And then other times, I don't feel like I need to get in there and feel like I hate this person. I don't need to do that. I'm all right. But I know other people that really need to get riled up. They need to fucking want to kill the person. And then other people, I don't understand. And other people are really relaxed. Other people can just be absolutely relaxed and chilling out, and then they go out there and get the job done. It just depends on the person and how they deal with the whole thing, sort of thing. Fighting's more of a mental game than anything.
So how would you deal with the situation? Like, let's say one day you are in the level of whatever Muay Thai, or maybe you would go, MMA, maybe in the future. So if they have this like riling up and talking shit about each other, do you think you would be good at it?
I'd be up for it, to be honest. I'd be up for it for the banter. I remember it was my second fight, and it was the first time they ever done that sort of like people come around and done like an interview and stuff like that. Yeah. And the guy I was meant to fight at the time, he was said, oh, I'm going to stop Sam in the 3rd round and XYZ and this and that. And it was quite funny because then I had to return back and I can't remember what I said, but I was just like, yeah, I'd like to see you try. But he ended up pulling out, so he didn't even fight me in the end.
Because it's very interesting to see, because some fighters are not the brightest pennies, are not the best with their mouth and verbal stuff, right? So sometimes you see someone just goes full on with like articulate, funny, like with punchlines, like a proper comedian, and the response is like, I'll kill you.
It's the punches to the head. Like some days are better than others. Like me and Martin, we'll be at the gym sometimes, and we'll be there, and like we just say things, and you just completely forget like you've done something, and we're both there like, oh, this ain't good. That CTE, be real. Be careful, yeah. Like back in the day, me and my mate Kibra, we used to literally spar so hard. Like I remember one time we was having these rounds. We must have gone about 8 rounds. We was kicking the life out of each other. We was hitting each other so hard, and then after. There was people watching, and they were like, oh, you two all right? Like, you got a problem? And we were like, nah, it's my best mate. Why? What's up? He was like, you two were trying to kill each other. It was going like 110%. I was like, yeah, nah, it's all right. We're fine. But you look back to it now and you think, cool, if I'd done that now, I probably wouldn't be able to remember my name.
So it's a huge part of conditioning each other, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, like Muay Thai, those people who don't know much about Muay Thai, in Thailand, for example, or I've seen that also in Bali, they literally kick palm trees,
Yeah.
And as a kid, I remember when I watched Van Damme movie when he was fighting Tampo, the guy with the long hair and whatever. So he would be also kicking palm tree, and Tampo was kicking like this pillar thing inside a room. And it does help. I remember I smashed my shins so, like, they were so conditioned that, because I was playing football still. And I remember we were going for the ball, me and this other dude, and we kicked at the same time, and we kicked literally each other in the shin. He collapsed.
He's fine.
I was fine. I didn't feel anything, and I just walked away. And I remember all my dudes were like, "What
like
the
Superman.
fuck? What just happened?" So I understand, like, that's cool to condition that. It's just the question is, when is it becomes like it actually can be harmful for your body? Like, obviously, if you punch in the head, I'm not sure about the conditioning. Like, there's probably a certain amount is fine. When it's harder, then it can leave you with problems.
You gotta. I think everyone's different, but you gotta monitor it. I don't think you should be hard sparring like all the time. Like in Thailand, they don't hard spar a lot really. I remember I had this hard like spar with these boxers, and then for me it wasn't like too much of a hard spar. It's like a standard Thursday night for us at our gym, and then so I was completely fine. And then next morning the coaches called me, the Thai coach K, and he's like, "Sam, you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. What's up?" He's like, "Sparring was too hard yesterday. You training today?" I was like, "Cool, Sam." I was like, "I'm fine." And then I walked into the gym later on, and he was like, "You don't spar like that down here." He was like, "It's too hard. If you want to spar like that, you can go and fight." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." Like,
so you would say that's one of the biggest differences between in UK and then in Thailand?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they will have hard spars, but they don't do hard spars all the time or as often. They do more like they like to play spar and do it more often. So it's sort of something I do with my clients now. Like where you can do it light enough to the point where you're doing it bare shin, no gum shields, and you're still reacting, you're still firing the shots in, but no one's getting hurt. And you can do it for longer, and you can do it every day because obviously you're not beating the life out of each other.
But then the question is like, which one prepares you better for the fight? Because I mean, it has to be the balance, right? So you do the play spar and whatever, and then you do the hard spar. So you do still condition your body, and you know, when you get on the fight, then you're ready for it.
Yeah.
But it's like, who decides and how do you guys monitor that balance? Like, let's say, obviously, Martin knows a lot and he helps you. What is his policy on that?
I feel like it's more, obviously, if you get knocked out or concussions and stuff like that, then there's a certain rules. You obviously definitely can't be sparring for like 30 days and stuff like that. But I mean, it's more like you've got to keep track of it yourself at the end of the day. You're all adults. We've all got to make sure we know what we're doing. So like, we know the rules of what we're getting into. We know getting punched and kicked in the head isn't like good for you. Do you know what I mean? So, and you just got to keep an eye out for the signs of things like.
The wisdom you guys need to take from this: it's not good when you get punched and kicked in the head,
but it feels good when you do it, though. That's the thing. Like,
or when you receive it.
Even when you see the kicks and punches.
No, the funniest thing, when I used to do karate, when I used to go to tournaments and stuff, every time I get punched in the face and almost like get knocked out, it felt pretty good.
Because
you feel a bit dizzy. You just like feel like you just drank like a bottle of champagne. I don't know.
I've never been hit to the point where I feel like I've been knocked out yet.
Really?
Nah, not really. I've had like a couple flashes and stuff like that, but I've never been to the point I'm like, whoa, here we go.
So you've never been knocked out?
Nah.
Oh shit.
Not in fighting, nah.
Touch some wood. There's wood around. And so how many professional fights have you had? And when does it becomes like this is professional?
Well, technically, to be honest with you, it's one of them things. Like, if you wanted to, you could have a professional fight straight away. It doesn't mean you'd be any good. It doesn't mean you're going to go far with it and stuff like that. So, like, I had an N-class fight, which in England is basically like amateur rules sort of thing. So you got shin guards on, no elbows. I had 2 of them. And then I went to C-class, which is basically like semi-pro sort of thing, where it's bare shin. And then literally a week or 2 later, I then made my pro debut in K1. So that was 2 amateur fights, 1 technically semi-pro fight and one pro fight there. And then I went and fought in Thailand, which is obviously they just do straight pro rules anyway.
So for people who don't understand this stuff, like what is the difference between amateurs and pros fight?
Amateurs and pros. So basically, if you're an amateur fights, you're going to be having like the foam shin guards on. You're probably not going to be throwing elbows. If you are, you're going to have elbow pads on at a push. Because they're starting to change the rules of it now. But it used to be N-class Muay Thai used to be basically just like amateur kickboxing. So you got shin guards on, no spinning back fists, no knees to the head, no elbows. And then you go C-class, which is the one above, which they just take the shin guards off, all the rules stay the same. And then it's like B-class, where you can knee to the head, but you can't elbow, which is like pro K1 basically. And then you got Pro-Am, which is you can elbow and knee to the head, but you got elbow pads.
Jeez, there's so many classes.
There's so many classes. I
The
think
highest
they're going to
level is
change it.
when you just naked.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much A class. A class, who does bare elbows and the little tie shorts and the little monkong on your head.
Just go like naked, like yeah.
The shorts are getting shorter and shorter though, so it's not far off from that. To be fair.
And just something falls out there.
You get, yeah, you got to be careful of that one. You got to be careful of that. But there's a lot of classes. But like, I think they're starting to change it. I think what eventually what it will be is like, it will be like amateur class, but with elbow pads, and then it will be Pro-Am, and then it'll be A. 3 more classes, I think, which makes more sense.
And with regarding with countries and different rules and stuff, so would you say it's quite internationally like kind of regulated, or each country would have some different?
I'm pretty sure each country, have different rules. Like I know in France, I'm pretty sure they can't do bare elbows out there. So yeah, a few countries have different things. Where in Thailand, for example, they've got the little nippers fighting bare elbows and knees. They don't care. The little kids, they're like this big and they're kicking the life out of each other. It's crazy. They're like 6 years old. Cutting the life out of each other.
How much did you learn about how is it in Thailand? Because as far as I remember, it's like some of them, like the families pretty much like raising a fighter.
Yeah.
So they like, that's it.
That's what they do to earn the money.
You're going to be a fighter. And they fight also for like
They fight for their
dimes.
family. They fight because out there, like I said, you can fight sometimes like 3 times a week if you want, if not more. So
Yeah, but the money they make is very small, isn't it?
I think for my fight, it wasn't a massive fight, and I think I got like, it's not loads of money, but it was like 5,000 baht or something like that.
What was that? What's 5,000 baht in pounds or dollars?
My conversion rate's not that great. I don't think it was a lot. No more than like 200 quid, I think.
Okay.
You got to think, if you're doing that 3 times a week, you're getting like 600 quid nearly just for a few fights for a few fights.
Yeah, but how much you can get hurt?
Oh yeah, that's the only thing now. But out there, though, there's so many. They've got all the betting. They've got like, they get people that like take dives out there. It's fucking crazy. See some people, you hit them once and they just hit the deck.
Right.
I was thinking, yeah, for my fight, I'll probably get a tuk-tuk driver. That'll be all right. Make the return, fight a tuk-tuk driver, hit him with a couple shots, he'll go down. Nah.
Because they allow to fight anyone, right? So they're not very monitoring. Like, you have paperwork.
We had this kid fighting, this little Russian kid. His name was Ivan out there when I was out in Thailand, and he was having his first fight. So he's walked out. They're like, Ivan from Russia making his debut, and then they're like, his opponent from Thailand, 22-0, and this full-grown Thai walked out, full-grown man, had a chest tattoo and everything, and I'm thinking, this is like a kid. He's going to die. So I'm like, gone up to Kay and I'm like, Kay, it's a mismatch. He's going to die. Kay's come up to me. He's like, ha, mismatch. And he's just laughing. He didn't give a shit. The Thai come running at him, smashed him straight in his head with an elbow. His eye swelled up. And fair play to Ivan though, because he stuck in there for the whole fight. He stuck in there for the whole 3 rounds. Didn't stop him.
Well, did he get hurt?
Oh, he got hurt. He got a black eye and stuff like that. I think he got dropped, but he got back up and he survived the fight. So fair play. Like, that's crazy. You'd think if you saw a full-grown man out here fighting like a 12-year-old, you think that kid's going to die.
Jesus.
Sort of
Well, first of all, it would be never allowed to
Shouldn't
for that
be
to
allowed.
happen.
Nah, they don't care out there. They don't. Not that they don't care, but like it's just so relaxed. Like you can just get away with so much out there. Like
I'm just wondering how many tourists get drunk and they go like, I'm gonna go fight.
some people, thing is though, if you're not like fighting for like a proper like Thai gym out there, you can go to like their commercial gyms and stuff like that, and then you can go against like the tuk-tuk drivers who basically they make the other gym look good. So you go there and you hit them a couple of times, they whip the deck, and you feel like the man sort of thing. But then other times you can go out there and you go against an absolute killer, and then it's kick the fuck out of you. Watch what happened to me. No, it was all right, but my ribs were battered from that fight. That was
And how many times you been now in Thailand?
3 times. 3 times. The first time I went was end of 2022. So in the space of 2 years, I've gone 3 times, and I'm going next week as well. So 4 times in 2 years.
How long are you gonna stay there?
This time I think I'm only there for a few weeks. I think because ideally the plan was to go out there and to fight out there, but Martin is like saying, Sam, you cannot fight with your leg the way it is.
Yeah.
But I'm out there for a few days by myself, so who knows what will happen on the few days on my own.
Well, how about we go get in talking about your leg? A couple of days ago, you told me what was going on, and we were discussing this thing. It's like this idea, like I have torn meniscus, right? And I had like 3 different doctors told me like I need to do surgery pretty straight away. But then I figured out exercise and strengthened the muscles around, and I'm pretty fine.
Yeah.
Your case is crazy. So what is the deal you have?
I tore at the start of the year in January. I tore my ACL completely. So grade 3 rupture of my ACL. I tore my meniscus, my PCL, my LCL, and my MCL. So everything basically.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue what those things mean.
I didn't even know what any of them words meant at the time. So that happened, and then Yeah, and then but at the time I didn't know, so I was going to a physio and he was like, right, you've got like an LCL and a PCL damage and maybe your meniscus. So he was giving me like exercises that I could do to strengthen up my leg and get back to it. I was about 8-9 weeks into that, and then he was like, right, I think you're healed up, mate. So let's go back to it. So I'm like, all right, sweet. Went back sparring and I've stepped in on a shot and my leg's buckled again. So I was like, oh, that's not ideal. And then Martin was just like, right, you need to go get it scanned now, sort of thing. So I got it on the NHS, waiting for a scan. Obviously, as you know, the NHS take forever.
Yeah,
so I was like, okay, see what happens. And then at that time, it just sort of got better. And then
NHS, yeah.
big up the NHS. Yeah, I say that. But so then I went to Ibiza, come back, and then Martin was like, oh, we've had someone pull out for a fight for next week. He was like 61 kilos. Do you reckon you could do it? I was like, yeah, I've just been Ibiza. I can make 61 kilos sort of thing. And then he was like, but what about your leg? And I was like, I think it might be all right. So I started running, started doing all them sort of things, and I felt great. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. That night, went sparring, went to throw my kick, and my leg went like popped again. I was like, oh, this ain't ideal. But it like all the times it's popped since the first, it hasn't been like as bad, if you know what I mean. So then I was like, right, I need to get an MRI done now. I can't wait on the NHS. So I called them up, done it private. And then a few days later, the scan results come back and they were like, you've completely ruptured your ACL, you've done X, Y, Z, this and that. I was like, oh shit.
And they would say like, that's it, you should do surgery, right?
Yeah. Oh, like I had a meet. This is a funny one. So I had to go meeting with the doctor or the surgeon, whoever it was. I went there with my mum, and mum's got a disabled badge. She's got like arthritis in her knees. So I was like, mum, act disabled. Do you know what I mean? Act like the badge. She was like, all right, cool. So
Act like the badge.
Yeah, I mean, act like the badge, mum. Do you know what I mean? Let's play it up.
My God.
So I was like, right,
was she playing it?
Mate, honestly, so we've got out of the car. I've turned around and she's got a walking stick. And I'm like, what the fuck you got that for? She's like, you told me to act disabled. I was like, oh shit. I was like, yes, mum, let's go. So then we're in the hospital now, and the doctor's looking at my knee. She's doing everything, and she's like, yeah, you've got no ACL at the moment. You've got this, you've got that. If you want to fight again, you need surgery, this, or not, all that stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. She was like, it's going to take about 9 months to recover from it. So I was like, all right, cool. Surgery in January, recover in 9 months. I'll fight in December. That's great. And she just started laughing. She was like, you ain't getting surgery in January. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, oh, the waiting list is like, she said, waiting list is at least a year sort of thing. Yeah, so then I just like started to throw my toys out the pram. So I was like, oh, that's it then, don't worry about it. So if I've got to wait a minimum year, and then I've got to do another nine months recovery, I've already been out for a year and a bit. I was like, there's going to be no point me coming back to fight. Like, it's sort of things. And I was like, I'm looking after my mum, I ain't going to be able to afford to look after her, given all that sort of thing. And then they've pulled in the main surgeon, and he was like, right, we're going to bump you up the waiting list, and hopefully we're going to move you in because we know obviously you're fighting and stuff like that. Which, to be fair, it's not wrong, do you know what I mean? Because otherwise, if I wait all this time, then there's no point. I'm not going to be able to fight. Yeah, it's also
a difference. If you would be an office worker who likes to go for a run or for like a fight for fun once in a while, that's a different story. You're a pro. That's your
and it's my job as well. Like, even now when I'm coaching, I can't do half the things that I want to do because I can't do things on my leg. I can do a lot. Considering what I've got with it, I can do a lot, but like I can't do it to my full capacity. So it is affecting work. So yeah, as soon as that gets fixed, and I'm back, because I've stayed in the gym and I've been training. So I'm like 100 times better than what I used to be.
But here also the story here is telling to some other people when they have similar things, like maybe not as crazy as your shit, but instead of rushing into get knives and cuts and whatever, there's ways you can actually strengthen the muscles around.
Yeah.
But now the question is like, I was wondering like in a long term, so if you just keep them strong with the muscles around, so what, you then never need to fix whatever?
So essentially, like when I went back to the thing, he said my PCL, my LCL have now repaired themselves, so that's okay.
So they can repair themselves?
Yeah, they repaired themselves.
Oh, shit.
So I assume what I'd done with my physio is what built that back up. Because he had me doing loads of different exercises. But he said my meniscus has a vertical tear that he has to stitch up. He said my MCL is away from the bone, so he has to reattach that. And then he said your ACL is completely ruptured. You haven't got an ACL. He said, so people can live without an ACL and you can crack on and do your day-to-day things. He said, but you want to fight, you're not going to be able to fight without an ACL.
Right. Because I had a similar thing with my meniscus also. It's apparently have ruptured and has to be like sewed together, or they just take it off or something like that.
That's it.
And they said like they're floating bits around, so which get inside and then
that's what he said it's doing to mine. And he said he's going to give me another ACL. So apparently I'm going to have 2 ACLs. So
but you see, there's another thing. Like I have one of the stunt guys. He's Bulgarian national team wrestler, right? Made like titanium. Like literally, you touch him. He hasn't done wrestling for ages, but like he's still tough as nails, right? And he told me, like, Renars, there's so many cases, like, when they have, like, those little ruptures, whatever, and those pieces are floating around, but they get stuck to the inside and they just grow to it.
I think so,
And I'm
yeah.
like, so why this doctor doesn't say that?
I know.
So why are they just so keen, like, to cut you instead of...
There's so many different things. I'm just like, with all that, like, I was, when the scan come back and it said I've ruptured my ACL, I was like, no way. There's not a chance. How am I doing what I'm doing on my, like, with a ruptured ACL? I've been kicking with it, doing all sorts with it. I was like, how is that completely ruptured? People can't walk without an ACL.
Yeah.
And like,
Because
even now,
people
like,
don't do sports.
that's the thing.
Exactly.
And I think, to be honest with you, a lot of it is like a bit of a placebo effect.
Right.
I'm just not wearing it. I'm like, nah, I'm not wearing it. Like, you see so many people that do have like, sort of these injuries, like they hurt their foot or something like that, and they're like, oh, that's them done. They give up. They stop training for a bit, or they stop doing their thing. Just carry on and just crack on. Ride it till the wheels fall off.
But also the other thing is, like, they don't go for kind of a different route of finding out more information. So they go just to hear one person giving them, like, okay, this is the problem, whatever. Because I remember, like, when I went to in Bali see a doctor, he was very like, yeah, I don't think you need surgery. You should be fine. When I was talking to here in the UK, where that would cost me £8,000 if I go to private, right?
Yeah.
He was like straight away, no, this is very serious business. You need to do a surgery.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, it's not surgery. I've never had surgery before. Like, if it was anything else, I probably wouldn't do it. But it's only just because, like, I badly want to get back to fighting. Like, I miss it. I'm still such a baby in the sport. I haven't done anything really compared to like others. So like, I really want to get back in there and I want to go till like I can't do it anymore. I know I'm not going to be able to do this forever. And it is the only sport that I've like been able to do and actually enjoy and I'm actually good at. So. Yeah, like if I wanted to, I could just sack it all off.
You should
and
be
not get it done.
modeling. You're so pretty.
Maybe that'll be a bit like another time down the line. Like, cameras are a bit like, I get a bit.
What do you get?
I get a bit frozen.
There's no cameras. There's nothing here. Just don't think about it. Okay, we smashed 30 minutes. I think that we had a little break.
Blah, blah, blah. RENARS PODCAST.
And we're back from our break. Here you go. I straight away, actually, what I was wondering, like, so you haven't been doing Muay Thai that long, right? But would you say that you've been fighting someone who's been doing it much longer?
Have I fought someone who's been doing it much longer? Yeah, I have done.
So how come that you can get to such a high level in such a short period of time? What do you think is the reason for it?
It's just testing yourself, testing your training, trusting your training as well, and trusting your trainers, trusting your team. Like, if it wasn't for Martin, to be honest with you, like, he's the one who's put me forward for the fights and believed in me.
Martin, yeah.
So, I mean, he's the one who's put me forward. There's fights that, like, I've been put through that I didn't think I was going to be able to win this fight. But, like, he believed in me. And we just, like, the way he looks at things, the way he breaks things down, it really helps me.
So you'd say the coaching is the biggest reason why you're so good?
100%. Yeah.
But what about your natural abilities, your natural, like, a drive? And I mean, obviously, they play part.
A big part in it as well. And to be honest with you, you find yourself in your training. You find yourself in your fights. I was quite lucky that in my, not lucky, but in my second fight, everything that can go bad happened in that fight. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was completely like dehydrated. I was dead from the first round. I was spinning. I was trying not to be sick from the second round. It was that bad sort of thing. And so from there onwards, everything can only get better. So then I just like, and then obviously this fight that you've got coming up now, the next one, like I had that 6 weeks. So I had that loss 6 weeks after I'd done that. And then my confidence comes straight back again. And I was like, I just knew like who the people I was training with, like are top level fighters. I'm training people like Dan Tracy, Jacob Wells, Mateo at the time. There's Tawab. There was loads of people at the gym who were such high level fighters. Right. And I'm thinking, if I'm mixing with these guys and I'm all right, then I'll be all right against
people. Yeah, but at the same time, like what I'm trying to get out of you is like, I think it sounds like you finally found something what you really like.
Yeah. If you've got a passion for it, you'll make it work.
That's why you're giving you 100%.
Yeah. There's other people out there, like for example, there's someone called Alfie Pierce. He's probably doing, I think he's doing the same amount of time as me, and the level he's taken it in such a short space of time because he's dedicated himself to it. He's already like pretty much not at the top, but he's pretty much there. Do you know what I mean? He's fighting on all the top shows. He's living out in Thailand, fighting Rajadhanam champions.
Yeah. But you see, like the thing what I'm interested in, like especially in Thailand, there are people who are doing it since they're this big and this old. So you said like little kids are so. I would think that they would have to have way more advantage over someone who's done it only for 3-4 years.
Potentially, yeah.
So what do you think would be their main advantage? Just more experience?
Just more experience. So they probably have more ring time and stuff like that. But generally, with fighting and stuff like that, if you've got like a good understanding and you've got a good heart, if you've got the heart, then you can go anywhere with it. If you haven't got heart, then you can get beat.
But what about the time of conditioning? So like, let's say you need 2 years to condition yourself to get to this level, and then you need 5 years to condition yourself to that level. Or you would say that it doesn't really matter how like 10 years being done conditioning yourself, as long as like the last 3 were like on like, you know what I mean? Because like if you've been hitting shins against like palm trees from age of 5 to 20, and then you come out here from UK who's never seen a fucking palm tree.
But do you know what it is?
And then you've done it only for 3 years. And so how come you can still be on the same level?
Like, I mean, you find out your levels. There is levels. There's domestic levels. There's elite. There's world levels. So you do find yourself out, and you've got to slowly make your way up. But in terms of conditioning and stuff, that's just by like, I've never done things like rolling pin my shin or anything like that. I've
like
just
they
kicked,
do in movies.
No, I've just smashed the pads. I've kicked the bottom of the like the heavy bags right at the bottom's really heavy. I've just kicked stuff like that. I've never done things like that. That's all I've ever done.
So then it almost sounds like it's overrated to, you know.
You can do it, but you don't need to do it. It's not necessary. I've never done it. And like I had this fight, it was my first bare shin fight. And then 2 weeks later, I had another bare shin fight and I was fine. So like you can do it. So it's just...
Mr. Masey, just amazing.
I'm a man of many
Samuel
talents.
Masey.
I feel like I'm in trouble with something. Mum saying that.
So which fight are we gonna watch first? We wanna
do it in order so it makes sense. So this one here, the Rio one.
This one?
No, the next one.
So this one is first one.
This one, yeah. So this is actually interesting. So the fight before, I'd lost that fight, and I was like, right, I need to make sure that I was moving up the levels from N class to C class. This is actually in my hometown in Bracknell. So I was like, I've got all my family and friends here. I know I've got to put a performance on. And Martin pulled me aside before the fight and was just like, listen, this lad's going to come to take your head off straight away. So like, be ready. And I was nervous anyway. I was coming off a loss because I gassed out. So I was like, this ain't good. So but I found out that in this fight here, I fight best when I feel the pressures on me and I feel like I have to be on it. Yeah. That's when I found out about like the nerves and stuff that I really learned about how to deal with it and stuff like that.
I'm just trying to figure out how to record this so I can show it. Or to be fair, we can just chat about it and I can put it later. Anyway, so here you go. That's the fight. Rio Johnson versus Samuel Masey.
He was a tough lad. He was coming to take my head off. He's the first person to give me a black eye. Give me 2 black eyes.
Really?
That was a Saturday and I was going out on a first date on a Monday and I went there with 2 black eyes.
How did he get you black eyes? With a fist or with a leg?
I don't remember. I feel like one of them was a teep to the face. And the other, I don't feel like he punched me much in my face. I feel like my guard was up.
Yeah.
But, the teep to the face definitely landed.
So what you can tell like here about the technique? So he just...
So you can see he's coming very aggressive. I'm more like countering and defending.
That was close to your head.
Yeah, I kept my hands up. In Thai boxing, so the first like 1 and 2 rounds is sort of like the feeling out rounds, and then rounds 3, 4, and 5 is when you up it. So I know this is the second round. I knew I could still go through the gears, and I was still sort of feeling it. He was trying to step it up, and locked him up in the clincher. That wasn't too bad. He was strong in the clinch. I remember my corner team Gary said, he was like, clinch him up, see how good he is. I was like, all right, cool. Clinched him. He's grabbed me, pulled me in, pulled my head down, kneed me. I was like, yeah, cool. I'm not doing that again.
And then you you should look at the guy and say like, yeah, he's good.
I was like, I ain't doing that again. I'm staying away from him. But look, he's so like erratic, and he was throwing so many shots, and he was constantly coming forward.
Yeah, he's very aggressive,
and he's doing really well at the moment. To be honest with you, fair play to him. I still speak to him.
But maybe your tactic is just you tiring him out.
To be honest with you, I was nervous on this one to gas out because I knew I gassed out in my last. In my first fight, I stopped him in 2 rounds. I got a knockout in the start of the second round. So then in my second fight, I thought I'll do the same, and it didn't happen. So this fight, I was like, right, show that you've got the skills to actually go the distance with people and score, and you know what you're doing. So it was ring control, being relaxed, picking my shots, not wasting any energy, and I felt like I'd done all right with it, to be honest.
Yeah. You look good though there.
It was.
You look a little bit like Beckham, by the way.
Do you know what it's funny you say that, because when I went to Thailand, one of the Thai guys was calling me Beckham, but like, I've never had anyone say that.
Because also tattoo, obviously, like the hairstyle, and I think it's your personality because you smile so much.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
That's all right.
But what, people never tell you that you're a very smiley person?
Nah, not really.
Oh, shut up.
People say the opposite.
I think if I would check with AI somehow, like how much we seen your teeth and this, there's going to be a lot.
Do you know what it is? When I'm talking about fighting, I'm happy. When I'm talking about this sort of thing,
I keep telling you, man, that's
my
just
happiness.
your thing.
It just is. Like,
that's why you're so fucking good at it.
Yeah, I think that's the only way it is. It's just my passion. Like, it's just what I like. Like, so
because I totally believe that you as a kid, you are. I don't say totally believe, but I'm pretty sure you were not very interested in school.
Not massively. Nah, and I wasn't massively into sports. I love football, but I was never good at it.
But in school, studying.
Yeah, no, I wasn't into studying. No,
yeah, you were not into studying at all.
No,
and those usually, are you dyslexic, by the way?
Nah, probably not diagnosed though. This is a good one here. Let's step back, left hook, bosh, hold that.
Oof, nice.
This corner team love that. And that's my brother there jumping up. That was funny. But no, I wouldn't say I don't think I'm dyslexic.
No, because I'm not trying to. No, because I think I'm also not diagnosed because, like, I honestly, or I'm just stupid because I can't not remember how to spell certain words.
Yeah.
And in when I was writing in Latvian or in Russian, I was fucking so horrible. So, anyways, but I always been into sports, and I think a lot of dyslexic kids are more into sports than because they from the very beginning they fucking can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, then they need to put that energy somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know what it was because I've never been able to like stick to anything else. Like everything else I do for like a year or something, and then I get a bit bored. But fighting is just, especially Thai boxing, like you can't. How can you get bored of it?
Yeah,
like,
you can hit each other in the head.
You can kick, you can punch, you can knee, you can. It's crazy. Like even now, like, I'm still learning so much. So it's mental. Yeah, this is the 4th round. So I was like, right, got to up at this one. My corner team said you're 3 up at this point. So I was like, I was feeling quite happy.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's up the kicks because kicks will score more than boxing as long as your head's not getting rocked back. But bosh, that was a nice little shot.
Oh, that was really nice.
But then didn't do nothing with it really. He covered up well there.
Yeah.
But I think this round I let my kicks like take over. I think I landed like 4 or 5 like unanswered kicks.
Ooh.
That was close.
Yeah, it's the question mark hit, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
he kind of starts, and he's good.
Like, there was 2 kicks there, I think unanswered. Little step back here, I missed that one. It's quite funny when I get backed up against the ropes. I do this with my hands because I try to get him to throw a punch so I can counter. That was good. A little flurry there, and I think here's like there's 1. This is a good one. 2.
Ooh.
3. So a few unanswered shots here. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's like 7 or 8 unanswered kicks. So that's like quite a good score in Thai boxing.
Oh, they actually count the scores.
Yeah. So if you kick and you don't kick back, then it's normally a good score. The low kicks don't score as big as unless it's like causing a lot of damage. But there, where I was.
How much do you score for a knockout head kick?
Massive. Massive. That looks good. I basically got that in my first fight. Like we was drilling, look down, kick up. Or look down, kick high, sort of thing. So I was blasting his leg, staring at his leg, and then I just went high on the last kick, and he didn't see it.
Nice.
It's a great picture in the gym. He's like putting his hand down like that, and it was just like a clean shot to the chin. That was my first ever fight. Everyone was like wanted to see what I was about. Now that it covers this bit up, I was dead here. I was like,
and for you, this fight was number what?
My 3rd fight.
3rd fight.
Yeah, my 3rd.
And this is still considered to be amateur, right?
Semi-pro technically, yeah, because obviously it's bare shin and stuff like that. So if this was K1,
you still have some clothes on.
Yeah, I still got some sort of clobber on me. Yeah, I was dead at this point. I couldn't breathe. I thought, I'm 4 rounds up. I just got to survive.
Do you know that he figured? Do you think he figured it out? That you did?
Rio, I think so. I think he knew he had to come take my head off, and he was doing that for most of the fight. But he knew this round, if he didn't knock me out or knock me down, I think he knew I won it. So he put the pressure on, and he's as game as they come. He fights everyone like this. Comes forward, pressure. He's a solid fight. It was a perfect fight for me at my stage of my career then.
Yeah.
That was a good score on the back there. See, like all my family behind there all stand up. That's my brother in the red t-shirt. That's Kibra in the vest. He had fought earlier in the day. So like all my family was there. So I was like, I have to make sure, like, except my mum. She can't come to none of the fights.
No.
Nah, she just stays at home and cries, bless her. Big up, mum. She goes mad every time I come home and I'm like, I've accepted this fight, by the way. She's, you taking the piss. Fucking, when are you going to knock this on the head? She started to realise.
What does she want you to do?
She prefers me doing the coaching. She just doesn't want me, obviously she doesn't want her son getting hurt. She knows how brutal this sport is. It's not like, all combat sports are brutal.
Do you have other siblings?
I've got loads of other siblings.
Do you know all of them?
I don't know all of them though, that's the only thing. So I'm one of 6. So I've got 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
Wow.
And then I've got like, I've lost count, like 20 something nieces and nephews.
Wow.
Yeah, like I'm the only one that actually like fights in the family. My nephew Jake, he used to do boxing. I think he still does box now, and he's a good level amateur boxer. Won a few like tournaments and stuff like that. So he done quite well. I think he's going to be coming back as well. So he's one to watch out for.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, it's just us two. So I think all my like brothers, they all love sports, they all love boxing, they all love that sort of thing. So as soon as they see me fighting, they love it.
So were you the oldest, middle, youngest?
I'm the youngest.
You the youngest?
I'm the baby.
You're the pretty boy.
I'm the baby.
Oh,
yeah.
that's why you're so pretty.
If you see the rest of my brothers though, then you might not think I'm as pretty because everyone thinks they're fit. So
no.
Yeah, everyone thinks they're better, yeah.
They're better looking than you?
Yeah, I know. If you've got an eye for me, have a look at my brothers. They're all married though, so.
That's why I got in the shed.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Sam, do you want to come to my shed?
I got to get out of
at
here.
3 o'clock. No, 3:30. Nick, come at 4.
I'm like, what, you want to talk about fighting? Yeah, say no more. I'm there. We're talking about me and fighting. Yeah, cool.
That's so funny. Talking about me being pretty and fighting. That's what's up.
Sign me up.
Yeah,
Cameras, lights.
all day. Come on, let's go.
Sign me up.
So what? Do you wanna get into acting maybe someday? If you're so pretty, you should.
I wouldn't even say I'm that pretty. I'm just.
Listen, if I tell you that you're pretty,
This is getting fruity. I'm gonna have to get out of here. I'm getting nervous, boys. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I don't get nervous, but I'm starting to get a little bit.
Anyway, serious topic. So we did talk about, you earlier asked me about stunts and stuff like.
Yes.
So the stunts would be something you think you would be rather doing than like acting.
Yeah, I reckon so. No, don't get me wrong. If I had an opportunity to do it and it was worth it and it was something cool, I probably would give it a go. I wouldn't say no to nothing.
For acting?
For acting, yeah. Even stuntman, I think I'm not afraid of heights or anything like that, so I don't know if that helps, but like, I'll give it a go.
So maybe you should consider that as a B plan.
But how do you do that though? How do I get into it? You've got to have more than one discipline, isn't
Yes.
it?
So in UK, there's this thing called British Stunt Register, right? This is an organization. That's the biggest organization in UK, and I think pretty much the biggest in the world as well, right? So it's very big. Everyone knows about it. So BSR stands for British Stunt Register, and the way they did it here, and it's this actually is like 50 years old now. Jeez, yeah, 50 years old, and this register, and basically you choose out of like 8 or 9 disciplines. You can choose swimming, high diving, trampolining, gymnastics, cliff climbing, martial art. Which for you, it's already done,
So
obviously.
I've got one.
Yeah. So you have, so you have 5 to go, and that's the thing. Like for you as a fighter, you have already advantage. You know, just like for someone who is a professional gymnast or semi-professional gymnast, they straight away have this. For me, I had to do everything from zero.
Yes.
Even like I had black belt in karate when I was in Latvia. I used to compete and stuff, right? Because it was so long time. I think if it's longer than 8 years, then it doesn't count anymore.
Oh, really?
Something like that.
See, I don't know what else I could be good at doing though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, then
all I could do is the fighting stuff.
swim. You can swim.
I'm not that good of a swimmer though. I remember I thought I was fit once, and then me and Kibra went to we was both getting ready for a fight, and I was like, let's go down like the fucking, it was David Lloyd's, go down to the pool, do some laps. And he's like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be able to do it. After like 4 or 5 laps, we're both drowning in this pool, literally. We're like, oh shit, we're not. This is a different level of fitness. This,
dude, swimming,
it's
honestly,
hard, man.
I think, and I'm not shitting you, I think it's the hardest thing because it's also so for me it was the hardest test to do out of all the 6 what I had. Like even high diving, I was scared shitless from 10 meters to do all sorts of shit, right?
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, so you're scared, you're fine. You know, the worst case scenario, you can just spank yourself and then you get fine. But with swimming, it was such a treacherous and stuff. And I'm short, very muscly, right? Yeah. And so I sink like a fucking hammer. So, and then even if I get a good technique, I still would struggle, right?
Yeah.
But then I kind of took a decision, fucking, I would just do it. And funny enough, talking about swimming, Joe Rogan was talking with one of the fighters. I forgot what was his name, but he said like he swims a lot and it's fitness like
it's so
the coolest
good for you.
thing.
It's
and
one of the
he
best.
says like some of the fighters come over with him to train and they die after 3 laps.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It is one of the best things. That was like one of the mental like battles I was having in my head. So I was like, if I can swim for 3 minutes straight for 5 rounds, I like to think I can fight 5 rounds 3 minutes straight. Because if I can swim for 3 minutes straight, then I should be able to fight for 3 minutes straight along that sort of line. So things like that are quite good for like the mental side of things as well.
Yeah, because since I've done my test, I still swimming. I'm one of the only stunt guys I know who continue swimming. Because after passing that test, they hated the fucking swimming. So I still swim, and I think it's the best. And also, like when you usually when you feel quite tired, not like up to for like proper training, or when you just feel like kind of like get like relaxing training, swimming is perfect.
It's good low impact on your body, so you don't get injured, do you? So for me, people say I should do it for my leg. So it's probably something I should probably get back into doing a bit more.
There you go. Anyways, but like for you to consider in the future, there's a lot of ex-fighters, ex-pro fighters who are stunt performers now.
We've got a few like stunt performers down the gym. Like we've got you, obviously Kim down there as well. Like, you know Kim. So like it's something I'd actually give it a go. I'll give it a go if the opportunity come about. Right now it's coaching, but like,
like the time wise. But the thing is this: if I would be you, honestly, I would start tick off some of the disciplines. Yeah, at least start training or looking into
a list after this, so I can have a look through and work 100%.
And then while because you have amazing flexibility as doing private coaching, so right, so you coach, you can train, because a lot of people try to transition to become a stunt performer when they do 8 to 5 jobs.
Yeah,
for them it's really difficult to get them together. So for you, I think that would be perfect. And then honestly, like. It's you still can be pro fighter or whatever, but you always gonna have this in the back pocket.
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon stuntman would be more of an option than acting. I don't know if I could act. I don't think I'm that good at.
Well, obviously, I was just pulling your leg in the sense I mean what you think.
Oh yeah,
I think like you have good looks to play an actor.
Stuntman is starting to be quite cool. I'll be cool. I'd like to do that sort of thing. That'd be funny. I'd like to jump out some stuff.
Yeah,
jump out some moving cars or some buildings.
That's your next career.
See me jumping out of some planes.
Fuck yeah! And I feel very like happy to encourage people because I honestly encourage 4 people, I think 4 or 5 who didn't know what they want to do because like most of them like were just pro gymnasts or whatever, and they like one of them was pro circus guy, and he's like, oh my body's fucked, and like I don't know what to do. And I said, you should pursue stunts. And there's this girl who I met on the plane, jumping out of the plane in Madrid in Spain. This really cute girl. And we started chatting and whatever. We dated for a little bit, and I convinced her to become a stunt performer. And now she's doing amazing stuff.
She's living her best life now.
Yeah, she's from Oz in Australia, and she's doing very well. And she used to be a super high world level. You know, when you have jets and you do the flying thing around. It's like
in a plane.
Yeah, no. Pressure shoots from your feet.
Oh shit! Yeah,
it's in the water.
Really?
The water thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like a hoverboard thing.
So this girl, she was the only female who could do like double or triple flips in the air. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So, anyways,
I want to learn how to do a flip
because I was like very, I'm confused when she said like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do after this. You love all this crazy shit. You should be a stunt performer.
It's like, can I give it? I need to make the call. Make 100%. The call.
You need to make a call.
Make the call, boys.
Who's gonna call you? Who's gonna call you? Or who you gonna call? Samuel Masey.
Oh, that's so bad. Literally, the only person that says that is my mum. So when I hear that, I just every time I think.
That's it from now on. Every time I'm gonna come to the gym, we're gonna send you a message like, when are we gonna train? Like, it's gonna be Samuel. Samuel Masey.
I think I've done something wrong. Mum's on my back. I've looked around like things behind me and give me a lash.
Lash.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nah, joking.
Okay, let's check out that other fight. But so that other fight is further down your career, right?
Yeah. So that was at the start of August. This was 2 weeks later. So that last fight was at 63, and this one was at 75 kilos, and it was professional K1. So
did you actually weigh that?
Yeah. Well, no. So
because you can be lower.
Yeah. So I got on the scale. I went to get on the scales, and I was 73 kilos. So me and Martin were like, Martin gave me a bottle of water. It was like 1.5 litre bottle of water, and he was like, put it in my hand, and then it put me to 75. So we were like, right, neck that, and then we'll jump on the scales. So I've necked 1.5 litre bottle of water, which is mental. Like when you consider like normally you're cutting weight, not drinking it. So then I weighed on the scales, and I was 75 technically.
So basically. Also, this is, I just thought about it. So if you weigh 85 kilos, I weigh 75 kilos. By law, I'm not allowed to fight you. Or I can.
No, so technically what it is...
If the category is 80 kilos, right?
Yeah, no. So what it is, as long as you make that weight on that day, on that time, you can weigh whatever you want the next day, basically.
Okay.
You see
but
some
on
people...
the day on that time, you have to weigh that.
Yeah, so we've got people that are like 90 kilos, or there's people that are like 95 kilos, and they cut down to 75 kilos.
No. So all I'm trying to understand, so if I'm lighter than you, but I think I want to fight you, I'm legally not allowed.
Yeah,
I'm allowed?
Oh, yeah, of course you are. As long as you make the weight, as long as you're under the weight limit, then yeah.
So you're saying that if you're 80, right, and I go like, yeah, I'm 65, I can come and say I'm going to fight you?
If you wanted to. You got to think you'd be crazy though, because you got to think I'm going to be 85 on that day, but I ain't going to be 85 on the night.
Because you're going to have like total disadvantage, right?
Yeah, because you're going to be like you got to think, if you're going against a 100 kilo man and you're 65 kilos.
But is there any history somewhere where like someone who's much lighter goes and fights
In
big
Thailand,
dudes?
there's someone like
In
that.
Thailand,
I
right?
can't remember the fight. I think it's Nokwe Davi. Me and Martin was showing me that fight for this because the geezer, I think it was that. The guy was massive fighting his geezer. He was like 120 kilos against someone that was like 60 kilos.
Jesus.
And I'm pretty sure the 60 kilo fighter beat him because he just was kicking the life out of him constantly. And this is what we sort of had for this because obviously I fight at 63 kilos, so which is very light. And then to come up to 75, that's massive. That's a big jump. Most people that fight at 75 cut down from like 90 kilos. So we were thinking that.
I'm just wondering why then there's no much more crazy lightweights who would challenge big weights, because it's just suicide. Is that what he's saying?
It's suicide.
Really?
Mate. Yeah, a lot of the time. You got to be so careful. Like, end of the day, this ain't a game. This ain't like it's a sport, yeah, but it's not a game.
Yeah.
Like, you can get really hurt in there.
Because at the end of the day, it's like literally, it's like you hitting me with a bigger stick and I'm hitting you with smaller stick.
100%. Like if you trust
I could
yourself,
get the same amount of hits, but because there's no weight, you're not going to get damaged.
We had one with this fight because we didn't know how big he was actually going to be. So we was literally saying, we were like, all right, we're going to go for it, but like, we'll keep an eye on you. Like if we get to the point where we think you're going to be in danger, we're ready to do what we have to do, sort of thing. When I told my mum and dad about this fight, they went mental. They were like, you told us you was going to take a break. Martin putting you in for this fight. He must not care about you. You're going to die. Because like this guy I was fighting, he'd been fighting professionally for like 20 years. He'd had like 20 plus fights. Like, and this is like my fifth fight, my first pro fight. This is his home gym. This is like him coming down to Pride and him fighting me in my gym. He walked in and the whole place erupted, and I'm there with just my brothers, literally, and it was like, oh shit. First main event, first professional fight, first title, and
Oh jeez, he looks evil.
big Polish lad.
Wow.
He was a home favourite.
He looks mean.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And so I was like, what?
Doesn't look Polish either.
I was like, what am I doing? But again, with this, Martin and my team just helped me out so much, like, to get me in the right mindset. Like,
Wait, do you have your entrance music, or you don't?
I come
do
out
that?
to 50 Cent on that one.
Of
Yeah.
course you did.
Get Up, that was a good one. But like, not like anyone cared because no one clapped.
I like, look at that referee.
that referee, oh mate. I ain't saying nothing.
Is he a hockey player on the side?
I ain't saying nothing. But all I'm saying is, if protect yourself at all times. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to say this now. In K1, yeah, you can grab a knee once and release. So you can. So I'll leave that there. In K1, grab, knee, release. You can't throw multiple knees in the clinch. Just remember that. And then watch what happens.
Jesus Christ.
So we knew his game plan was going to be to come out and take my head off straight away. So we were like, we're going to chop his legs. So here he goes, he explodes on me. 1, 2,
Jesus.
3,
Oh my God.
4. Look at my hand all wrapped up in the ropes. I couldn't even defend myself at that point. But the plan was to weather the storm. Like, we knew he was going to attack me like this. So weather it, be strong, don't be silly. And then chop him down with the kicks and then like change levels eventually. And it worked quite well. Worked really well. To be fair.
Fuck that. No, he's scary.
Yeah, look, you spinning back.
Whoa.
People like that, like you watch, you don't know what they're going to throw. You've got to be so careful.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was like, what's good? And it was vinyl, so I was slipping all over the gaff.
But they should have some
Look
kind
at
of
this
rule.
one.
So they should have some kind of rule, honestly. Someone that ugly cannot fight someone that pretty.
You'd think so, innit? I won that battle straight away, so that the good-looking one, I won that one.
No, but it's not, and it shouldn't be allowed. There's only pretty people should be kicking pretty people.
I think he wanted to try and make me look ugly, so that's the way he was fighting. He was
I'm
like,
gonna make you just like me.
that's what I was thinking. I was like,
and
oh,
then we
God.
eat potatoes together.
He was trying to intimidate me the whole time before as well. He saw me and he come up to me and squared up to me like before the fight, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Oh my God.
So I'm just countering. I don't know what that was. I was with a looping shot. But you can see the low kicks now are starting to take effect. Look, he changed his stance here. Attack the inside leg.
And this is just the first round.
First round, yeah. It's my first time.
And usually it's 3 rounds?
Yeah, this was, 3 threes this was. But he was so, he was so mental.
But now you can see he's quite tired.
He's tired out now. Because in his last 3 fights, he had won in the first round. He had stopped him in the first round.
Because he was that aggressive.
Yeah, so he was
right.
coming off three first round KOs.
Wow.
So he was looking dangerous.
And
You
then
got to be careful.
you were right. You just needed to fucking withstand that original attack.
Yeah, exactly. Weather the early storm and then chop the tree. I think he tries to kick my leg here. Look at this, check. Bosh. He was screaming. He was screaming. I couldn't believe it.
Oh my God.
I looked away like, what, is that it?
Did he break his leg there?
Nah, I just don't know what happened. I checked it and I checked, it was a good check. And then
Yeah, it
he
was
just
very good
screamed. I've never heard a man scream in the ring before, bless him. Like, he's blowing now, poor guy. But he's got heart. He stays in there. That was good head movement from me there.
And he has probably much longer reach.
Oh, that's what I...
His hands are so long. Jesus.
Yeah, like...
he could hold me like this, you know. They put on.
He's he was so tall. Where like my training partner Kibra, he's like 6'3", 6'4". So I'm quite used to tall guys, but like I couldn't get the reach on this guy early doors. So it was hard to kick him in the head. This was a nice knee, bosh, straight in the head.
Ooh, you got him there?
I see his eyes like spin a different way there.
Did he scream again?
Yeah.
He's really hoping for that spinning back fist.
Yeah, he at this point he's throwing everything in the kitchen sink.
Everything.
Listen, he screamed there. Look, he's like, oh. I'm just leg hunting at this point.
That was like a ghost dance.
That's what it sounded like as well. It was crazy. I slipped here. It was like shit, bosh.
Ooh,
Yeah,
shit.
just on the end of the punch.
Jesus. If he would hit you in that flight, would that be illegal?
Yeah, because I was still like, unless your hands touch the ground, he can hit you, sort of thing. So yeah, luckily I just sort of obviously I slipped, but I can't remember.
Martin's giving you shit.
He's giving me bodkin.
I would love to do a voiceover with Martin says, okay, what you do this time?
Martin, mate, honestly, in the corner is the scariest man in the world.
I'll fuck you up.
He is the scariest man in the world. When he talks, you listen in that corner.
He's such a sweetheart, right?
Mate, he's so good. He's so sound, so relaxed, but he knows when to turn it on.
The shit goes down.
When he talks, you listen. It's one of them ones.
Fuck, that's awesome.
Like, I remember my end of my second fight, and mate, he pulled me in that corner and gave me the biggest bollocking in my life.
You know what he should do? So I don't want to do fighting, right? So I don't want him to be in my corner as a fighter. But I started doing figure skating recently.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he would be in my corner as I figure skate, compete?
Oh, you do well. Trust me, you be killing it. Some of the stuff me and Martin say in the corner, we should be locked up.
And stuff.
We should be locked up. Some of the stuff we say in the corner, it is so bad. We've had to like check ourselves lately. Another need to get there. Hold that.
Oh God.
But yeah, no, it's funny. We get so into it. But yeah, he's quality. He brings that animal instinct out of you. Do you know what I mean? He can help you turn it on.
Animal. Jeez, the Polish guy's falling apart. But he's also older than you, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know how old he was, but he was a bit older.
He looks like at least 20 years older.
Oh, yeah, he's got to be. He'd been fighting for years. Like, that hurt, that one. But I've walked straight through that. This was it. This is the beginning of the end.
Oh, he tried spinning
I
push
think I dropped
kicks.
him like 6 leg kicks here.
Oh my God.
Martin was like, go. So I just went mad at this point.
I think you told me about this one. I think, yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, I just went for it. I heard Martin shout go, and at that point there, I just went for it.
And the leg. You're going to go for leg again, right?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Inside.
you nasty.
Back on the other one.
Oh, the other one.
Bosh.
Oh.
At this point, I'm just holding onto the rings and just bosh. The ref's like, yeah, all right, cool. Call it there, lads. We were like, right, get the belt and get out of it now before we get jumped.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you were like not in your hood.
I was 5 hours away from home, like with just me and my team and my two brothers and my dad.
You think they would actually
We thought at this point there, there's about 250 of them. If they wanted to, they could just kick the fuck out of us in the car park because we was in like an industrial estate. But nah, they were so nice to us.
Really?
Yeah, they were so nice. There was no issues whatsoever, start to finish. There was Ring Wars and Sean Burton were brilliant with us.
Oh, and the Polish guys are also cool.
No, they were all so sound. We just thought, mate, we could be in a bit of trouble there.
And this is what I think is.
This is what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. It's a sport spirit. It's 100%. About
I still speak to a lot of the guys that I fought before. I fought. I was like, we all get on.
So you just ask them, have you recovered yet?
Yeah, I'm like, how you doing? Is your leg all right?
Yeah, save it for me. I'll be back.
Yeah, man. But fair play to that geezer because he's tough and he keeps fighting and he loves it and he brings a big crowd as well. So it's good for the sport.
That's sweet. That's how it should be.
And yeah, there was no dramas. And then I had like 10 months out after that fight. So I didn't fight for a while. I went Thailand straight after that fight. And then from there,
everything went to shit.
Yeah.
What happens in Thailand?
Stays in Thailand.
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
That's all you got.
I think that's all the stuff on YouTube, to be fair.
Yeah.
I ain't got much on the old YouTube.
The rest of it is in OnlyFans.
The rest of it's hidden. OnlyFans.
So what do you consider to do, OnlyFans?
Nah, I can't do that. Nah, I can't do that.
But I'm not trying to get out of you like naked or whatever. But like the thing is that OnlyFans are so versatile now. It's not only about the naked weird shit.
No, I see a lot of people doing that. But you know what it is? It's one of them things where it's got such like a reputation with it. Even if you're not doing that, like it doesn't look good. And like obviously in what I do, and like the stuff I'm doing, and like I train kids and stuff like that. I don't want that.
For you, that's
even if I'm not doing stuff like that, I don't want that to come across and be like, oh yeah, he's on that. So that's never been something that's been for me, to be honest.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
nah.
cool.
But I know some people that do like stuff like that, and they're not posting like nudes and stuff. They're just posting like their training content or stuff like that. So
that's interesting, because they were also talking about the comedy to be on OnlyFans.
Really?
Yeah, because with comedy is becoming so censored.
yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So there's like cannot make jokes about transgender. You cannot do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And then and I'm just curious, how does it work then? So how come they cannot kick you off the OnlyFans then? Like, do they have different rules? Rules don't apply to something what you pay for?
I think with
I'm like, it's very interesting.
I think stuff with comedy though, like if it's as long as it's a joke, like it shouldn't. It's not offensive. It's a joke. It's not aimed at anyone.
But that's the thing, like, it's how you perceive it.
That's what I'm saying. But
if
I feel
you
like that's
perceive it as
everything.
offensive, yeah.
I feel like that's everything. If you're gonna cry about your opinion all the time, it's like something you find offensive, I might not find offensive, and vice versa. And if it's a joke, it's like, all right, but the joke's not aimed at you. It's just a joke. It's out there.
It's crazy. So
like,
what are your thoughts? Here you go. I'm not gonna talk about fighting. What are your thoughts about, like, what is the young generation who is just so influenced by Vogue thoughts and concepts, and like, like when we were kids, like you were much younger than me, so where I grew up, it's like boys are boys and girls are girls. Like we do boy stuff, we like to do the fights and whatever, and girls do their stuff, right?
Yeah.
So nowadays it's just like, because I'm even like, I want to have kids one day, but I would be afraid, like, how you introduce them and what do you.
I'm very old school, to be honest with you, so I would keep things like old school as it is. Like,
it's like it's obviously your family values, like how you were raised, right?
We need to be careful what we say. We're gonna get cancelled to start talking about stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. Like, to be honest with you, each to their own. Whatever everyone wants to do, I'm not fussed. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. As long as it doesn't affect me or bother me, I couldn't care what people get up to.
You were joking about this earlier, but do you actually think that you're because of being hit in the head, there's certain different changes?
Yeah. 100%.
So what would you say?
Like, I didn't notice it for a very long time. And then, like, more as of recent, like, I'd have like a hard spar, and even something like simple as this, I'd have like a hard spar, and then I'll be driving home. You got music on in the car.
Yeah.
You'd be, like, singing to the song in the car. I know the song, I know the lyric, I know every lyric of it, sort of thing. And I'll be trying to, like, just chill and just sing to the song as I'm driving, and he'd be like, and in my head, the words, they're there, but they're not coming out.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm not getting the words right, and things going on, and I'll be like. Or like nowadays I forget, like I can remember crazy things, and then some things I'll forget about. I could tell you something and I'll forget it 2 seconds later.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How many hits you had to your head, like strong ones you can remember? So you said you never got knocked out.
Nah.
Right? So that's a big thing. Because if you get knocked out, then afterwards it's getting just worse and worse. That's what I heard, right?
Yeah.
So then how many times you got, like, you think like, wow, that was
I think
pretty...
I've probably been flashed probably like 2-3 times.
That's
I'd say.
it.
Nothing too
So
crazy.
you saying after those 2-3 times, now you think I already have some
Mine's
issues?
probably an accumulation. Like, it depends on the style of how you fight and spar, etc. Mine is obviously I haven't got the longest reach in the world. I don't mind going Mexican style, putting my hands to across on my face and just like marching forward, taking 2 to give 3. I don't mind that. So like,
that's so crazy that you said about Mexican style. I'm not kidding you. I was driving home from doing pads with you today.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan was saying that whoever is considered to be fighters in MMA has a Mexican style as a boxing. Those are insane. That's a compliment.
It's
That's
like
really
Rodtang
good
sort of thing.
compliment.
You walk through it and take the shots to give shots back.
So the Mexican stance is this.
Basically just gloves to your head, you walk through it, and you just march forward, and you take to give sort of thing.
But in Mexican style is from boxing.
I believe so.
Yeah. So Mexican boxing style, not Muay Thai.
That's it. Yeah, not Muay
So
Thai.
weird. Muay Thai Mexican style.
Yeah, that's different. So they would call it like probably like Muay Farang, which is like foreigner sort of thing. So it's like that foreigner style.
Sounds
of
like
heavy boxing.
orangutan.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So that's what they call you in Thailand. They call us Farangs because we're foreigners.
Oh,
so
shit.
like,
Do you
you're a
know
Muay
how they
Farang.
call white people in Indonesia? Boulets.
Boulets?
Yeah, boulets. Do you know what that means?
No.
Oh, obviously. How would you know?
Oh, you just told me.
No. Boulets means a white cow.
Really?
Yeah, so because Indonesians in general, like, they're very like farmers and whatever.
Yeah.
So when they saw the first white people coming to their land, at the time, I think they would have like animals. They would have cows, and they would have white cows, black cows, whatever. And so that's, for some reason, they had this kind of resemblance with them. I mean, obviously in those days there was nothing to do about like that America's 95% overweight. Yeah, because if you can imagine it back for those days, just like 20 obese people coming over like as that normal, they definitely would call us like cows or some shit.
Bali was funny, I got my nose broke there for the first ever time. That weren't fun.
What was her name?
What was his name? Nico. His name was. I think his name was. I went down.
Which
to
gym was it?
Soma.
Soma, yeah, no, I used to go there.
So like I went down there,
shit.
and literally a week prior, I've only got there a week before. I was on a drip because I got like barley belly like the first day. I was like dying.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
I was dying. Like if it weren't for my missus, mate, I reckon I would have died. I would have been dead.
I've been there for like going for 4 times each time, about 5-6 months.
Yeah.
Never had a barley belly.
Oh my god.
I'm like, how? I don't understand how I haven't had it.
I'm convinced it wasn't even barley belly. It was like methanol poisoning or something. That was the worst I've ever been.
No, but like what you're saying, makes sense and all that. But like I have so many friends
you
around
do.
who all of them had barley belly,
Really?
but I never had one.
Well, you've still never had it?
No, still never
How?
had. That's what I was just asking.
How?
I like how you just said how, and then you said how.
Yeah, see, I was just going. I'm like, what? How? Like, mate, everyone. Like, when I got there, everyone had. And do you remember when it was that day when you would have been there, and their like spirit day where you're not allowed to leave the house?
Yeah, that's a nyepi. That's a nyepi.
Oh my god,
I was chilling on some island or something.
Oh, fucking wow.
Because we all ran away from Bali.
Oh.
We all go to different islands around. They don't follow those rules. So, dude, I will tell you, this is sick. This is sick. So this is like 2 years ago. Nyepi is coming, and my friends we're gonna go to Gili Islands.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And there's Gili Tran, I think that was the island, and they literally for those 2 nights there's biggest ever parties, and they're like everyone is high as fuck in those parties. So I was there, and it was insane.
Was it?
It was really fucking good.
I never got to do none of that stuff out there. That was the only thing I wish I'd done, like more crazy stuff.
Because you didn't call me, you bitch.
No.
Come up with something. Yeah, come on.
I was with the missus.
Of course, yeah. She never allowed you to do anything else.
I was like, right, I'm stuck. I was like, I got to stay the time with her. So I was like, I'm with her. But then, yeah, when I went to Soma, like I had my pride shorts on, and then they were like, oh, what, you a fighter, are you? I was like, yeah. They were like, we got fighter sparring tomorrow, come down. So I was like, I got my colours on, I can't say no, I got to represent. So I was like, all right, sweet, no worries. I hadn't done any training, been also in the drip the week before, and their training was like army surgeon. He was like, right, you're with him, you're doing this. I was like, sweet. So they put me with this geezer, and I'm looking at him sort of thing, I'm thinking, right, why is his back leg that? Oh shit, he's a southpaw. Whack, big left hand straight on my beak. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, we're going 100% straight off the bat. Sweet.
So he went full on right away.
That sparring was so it's like, luckily obviously down our gym we have the Thursday night sparring, so I'm used to hard sparring. So I was like, oh, okay, sweet, it's like that, we're going straight for it, say no more.
But did you think with that first whack he'll broken nose?
100%, because that was the hardest, that was such a good shot. Fair play to him, it was a clean shot. He was like an 11-0 southpaw as well, I didn't even know at the time.
But did you guys have a conversation like we going full on?
It was, but obviously it was their fighters sparring, so I guess they all just assumed, I'm the new boy.
That's why you need to go to Bali MMA. Oh, shit.
I was the new boy there in someone else's like gym colours, so obviously they're not
Soma, honestly, like I'm just talking shit, but Soma, no, is owned by my good mate. His name's Mike. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
He's from New Zealand, was it?
It's a great
he's Kiwi, And and the crazy thing, he used to be with Bali MMA.
Really?
He used to be one of the coaches in Bali MMA. And then he, went to Bali, and it's great. Now it's a bigger competition. Dude, since those gyms are opened, in both of them, levels go up so quick.
Yeah.
That's what's amazing. It's not fucking monopoly, so you can create like one gym and there's nothing. So
100%.
I really love it. Now the level is amazing. There's an amazing swimming pool. Where's
what, in Bali MMA?
No. So right behind Bali MMA, there's a place called Wanderlust. It's like CrossFit gym.
Yes.
And there's a beautiful pool. I go there. I literally, dude, you're gonna love this. I wake up 5:30 o'clock in the morning.
I'm not loving that.
And just before 6, I'm in a cold bath. Literally, first thing I do straight away, sit in a cold bath. Then, because it's so hot, you get out.
True.
And it's like heat everywhere, and then you like feel like nice and cool, and then you can start your conditioning.
Yeah.
And literally, I do like 3 circles of like my conditioning program.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't get in a cold bath, I would get sweaty after like 5 seconds, I think. But because I did cold bath, on the 3rd round of my conditioning, I start breaking sweat. Really? So that's just so good. So I do my conditioning, then I have a pad holder guy who always comes and we do it together. And then I go for a swim. So, and that takes me about 2 hours. Yeah. So right after that, I go to my coffee shop. I have a coffee shop in Bali, motherfucker.
Plug that.
Yeah. And then Dawn Patrol. What's up, Dawn Patrol?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the title of the place. So and then I drink coffee and then I go surf.
That sounds good.
And I surf about like an hour and then I go home. And then the time only around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. So I've done all these things already for that time. And then I go home, I do some like laptop work or whatever.
Yeah, do your thing.
And every day, man.
Man, I need to get to that Bali life. I need to get back on the island. If it wasn't for the knee, I'll probably be in Thailand right now. I'll be living there, 100%.
So because right now you're going to be waiting for the surgery and stuff?
Yeah, January I think it's going to be, they said. So then yeah, it'll be 12-month recovery. I'm going to hope for 9.
Fuck,
12 months.
But it really depends what are you going to do about it.
Yeah, he said I can't walk, I can't put weight on it for 6 weeks at least.
Yeah.
So, and then once that's sorted, it's sorted, mate, I'm going to give everything. I'm just going to go full head for it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I think I need to consider my knee surgery because like even though it's not too bad, but I feel it once in a while.
You got to think as you get older as well, it might get worse.
Are you saying I'm getting old?
Because like, you got to think another 10 years, 50. Cheers. That's a new knee. That's a dead joke.
Is that good? Oh God. Okay, let's have a little break.
Blah, blah, blah. RENARS PODCAST.
Oh,
We're making that cool.
But listen, how different world would be if there would not be weapons. I mean, like I'm talking like total so utopian, but literally no weapons, even no sticks. With the idea that the only way you can protect each other is with martial arts.
Oh, it'd be great.
Dude, it would be insane.
Imagine how much better like just wars and that would be.
That would be insane.
Just
But
be
can you
having
imagine like
100.
1,000 people run on each other
It'd be
like an
crazy.
MMA fight?
I would be well up for that. Imagine that. Then I'd be up. Then I'd go join the army. That'd be a
But
great.
can you
crack.
imagine how much they would be motivated to train? They would be training.
Imagine
But
them
also,
Russians.
but you see, the biggest thing would be the quantities. Like, let's say, can you imagine Latvia versus America? We're less than 2 million people
Then you're in a bit
versus
of trouble.
300 million, right?
You lost.
So just over the quantity, you know?
I think that's where that comes
So
from.
whoever is going to be the biggest, like Indians or Chinese, Jesus Christ.
You got to think them Russians, them boys there.
So which one? Good shout. So which country you think is the most devastated fighters?
What in any sort of
I don't know,
discipline?
like what do we say, like MMA? You know, let's say Muay Thai. That's because that's your specialty.
Muay Thai, like I've got to say, obviously it's so close in my opinion between UK and Thailand because obviously you got because you got the Thai fighters like obviously the Sanchais, the Borkals, them sort of guys, the Rodtangs, Super Lex, Super Bonds, all them guys, obviously great. But then you got obviously what's this?
Chocolate.
Oh, okay, cool. And then you got like all the I'm like, what's this? Trying to lace me or something. And then you got all the other guys. Obviously in the UK coming up, you've got the Haggertys, you got like the Joe Ryan, you got them sort of fighters coming up, and they're phenomenal, and they're taking over. So it's like, it's so close, so close.
What about like Belgians? They became very famous, mainly with the kickboxing.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. Holland.
Holland, the Dutch kickboxers.
Yeah, Holland,
like
Dutch.
glory.
Yeah. Sorry. Netherlands.
I can't lie, I don't follow them as much. My guys down the gym, Dom and Alex, they watch them quite a lot.
It wasn't a good idea to give you a chocolate while I want you to speak.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, them boys do it. Alex actually lived in Holland for a bit and done training down Mike's gym. Done a lot of training down there. So he's one of the coaches down the gym, as you know, and obviously does the K1 class. So his knowledge of like Dutch kickboxing is great. What is this?
Gummies. It's just normal gummies, nothing.
Well, like a sweet, like a Haribo.
Yeah, exactly.
Am I getting drugged here?
No.
Mushroom.
It's not strong. No.
What, is this like an actual mushroom?
No, it's a vitamin. It's
you
honestly
sure?
no. Sam,
I need to put the track. I need to turn my tracker on.
call your mom.
No, I'm calling mum.
Mommy, if I
No.
don't call you in 10 minutes, I'm at this man's house.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm at a strange man's house and some shed and some headphones on. This don't look good. This don't look good.
And you were nervous. It said like in front of cameras, nervous. Now you're like comedian. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Look, you're not just pretty. You're funny as well.
I like to say I'm quite funny, I reckon.
You should try stand up.
Nah. Do you know you notice me stuttering?
Oh, dude, that's even adds to you being more funny. Listen, such a bullshit. You literally can be the best speaker or whatever, even if you have a stutter.
Yeah.
It's about how you do it. It's about like intentions, it's about your charisma. It's about so many things. I've done public speaking from a very young age, right? So I've always been very confident on stage. The last thing what I was doing as a public speaking stuff, it was literally a club called Toastmasters.
Yeah.
And it's an international, like a club. It's everywhere in the world. So I started in Canada, then I continued in UK.
All right.
And they, some of them, they're saying like, dude, you're funny. You should do stand up.
Yeah.
But I was always afraid. I'm just thinking it's too much pressure, whatever. And basically, all I'm trying to say, I've seen people who I think they never would be funny, like literally, and they become funny because they learn how to do it. They practice their time on the stage. They start learning the timing, all that thing. The thing what we should taught be in school, man.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
is a basic communication.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like, do you remember in school if someone would tell you that long pause is good?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
right?
I do remember that. That's something I try to do because I talk really fast.
Right.
So I
right.
try and like stop and then actually think before I speak because I don't do that a lot. I just talk really fast. And
The first part you were super fast.
I was so nervous. I've never done anything like this before.
You like Busta Rhymes? You should do that.
I can actually, you know that song that he goes mental one? I can actually do, I think at one point I can do that.
Really?
Yeah, I can talk quite fast. It's my brother Steve, he does exactly the same. We speak so fast.
What do you think is that?
I don't know, you know.
Could it be because of the big family that they tried to speak like,
maybe
on each other?
With my family, it was quite weird because my mum and dad had like my three brothers and my older sister. They had them, and then they took a break, but like they didn't have kids for like 10 years, and then they had my sister, and then they had me. So growing up in the house, it was basically just me and my older sister because the other four had already moved out.
Oh, so you didn't have any of that?
Nah, that was
because the reason why I'm saying that because my neighbor he grew up in a family of 5 or 6. And they all like quite similar age, whatever. And when they were talking, if you don't speak loud and fast, someone else is going to take over the conversation, and you're going to lose it, and you're not going to get something or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's probably where it comes from.
It's like crazy. And we were sitting chatting, and he was Skyping with his sister. And they were like that. I was just listening like, oh my God, you guys. It's insane.
Growing up as well, I always wanted to be like my brothers as well. So I feel like that probably took a bit of it as well.
Yeah, because they're...
If my brother talks fast, I'll talk fast. Like it just sort of happens sort of thing. Yeah, so I think that probably
100%.
took a bit of it.
One of the things what I actually talk about through podcasts, and usually in the third part, is about 3 favorite movies, 3 favorite people, 3 favorite books, right? So I didn't give you this information, but also we kind of got in the last moment, like we wouldn't have time, because I usually then try to read those 3 favorite books of yours, and we try to talk about them, whatever. But like that smile just tells me you're not a very big reader.
I've got one book I've ever read, and it's called The Secret. That's
no way. That's the only book you ever read.
And like, what's the one called? Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat.
I like the combo.
Green eggs and ham.
Secret and Dr. Seuss.
Those are 2 things. Nice. When I was a kid, I used to be a good reader, but no, I don't really read that much anymore.
Really?
Nah, I should do it. I know I should.
That's crazy, dude. I probably read like maybe 300 books.
Yeah. I do think it's a good thing to do, and I don't knock people that do it. I just know what I'm like. My attention span lately, so not
it's
lately.
Crazy. But what about audiobooks?
That's what I need to get on.
Yeah, dude. Like while you train, while you warm up, like you listen. Yeah, you should do that. And honestly, like I actually got used to, which I thought is going to be difficult because obviously music motivates us, right? The movement is better. Like we're more like whatever, it feels like we have more energy.
Yeah.
But for last 3 years, all I do while I train, listen podcasts, audiobooks. And now I notice like my training is the same because I almost like, I don't think about it. Like just figure out your own rhythm. You don't need music.
Yeah.
So for you, that would be perfect too.
I'm going to give that a go.
Yeah.
There's a few things I need to start like trying and doing, and that's getting into it. At the moment, like where my life's changed so much in the last like couple of years, even like from the last year when I got back from fighting in Thailand, like originally I was roofing, and that was what I was meant to go back to do. And then when I come back, the work wasn't there. So then that's when I started coaching. Yeah. And then from then, like just starting this year, like I've been pushing coaching so much. Like I've had my own fighters and stuff like that. So like,
you know what you need? I think that could help you to check out some self-development books.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I'm happy to send you a list.
Yeah.
Like for example, one of them is Atomic Habits, right?
I've heard of this one.
Atomic Habits. Then the second one, the number one, which I love, is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Oh, okay.
That is something what should be taught like 7 commandments or whatever they have in Catholic churches.
Yeah.
Because it's literally habits what would allow you to have balanced life.
Okay.
Always learning something because you have those certain habits, right?
Yeah.
And Atomic Habits, that book is really helpful to manage your time and to figure out what you can do. Because, I mean, I'm not amazing with this, but I can tell you honestly, comparing it with some of the people I know, my discipline is so much better. In a way, because I know I'm definitely going to have a training. I know I'm definitely going to do this. I'm definitely going to do that. And it's like unwritten law, but I know that I'm really shit with some other stuff what I need to do. Like, for example, read 10 pages every day or something like that.
That's my thing.
You know, because that could change our lives so much.
I think so too. I do think reading is like a good thing to do. you know, it's one of the things like, right, I'll get round to it.
Yeah.
I'll get round to it. And it's one of the things, it's with anything.
to start
if
now.
you always say, I'll do it tomorrow never comes. You've got to start now. And I'm aware of that. So I think that's going to be, I'm going to get back. I see another book, it was like something like, is it 91 Laws of Power or something like that? 98 Laws of Power, something like that?
Yeah, could be.
I think it was something like that. I had that written down in my notes, but I never got around to reading that
I think the very, very first one, because in Latvia I grew up with not having any idea that they're like self-development books, like books which inspire you to do something. So it was Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Okay.
Alchemist, that's one of the very first books, which is literally about self-development and stuff and how you can learn things about you.
Yeah.
And he uses a story telling the life story of this young boy who used to be a shepherd, and I think so. And then he got a job for this one very rich man who was his assistant for ages. And it's literally it's like a story about someone's life, but in the same time teaching you lessons. And I was like, that's insane.
Yeah. Stuff like that is good. Stuff like that is really good. That's something I need to really like.
Okay, not book reader. Fine. What about your 3 favorite movies? What would you say is one of your like favorite?
Favorite movie, Step Brothers.
Really?
Have you seen that film?
Of course I've seen
That is the best film. Me and my brother, when we was in America once, we loved that film, and it's still a running joke now. That's got to be one of my favorite films.
That's with Will Ferrell, right?
Yeah, Will Ferrell. Like, who's the other one called?
I forgot his name, but yeah, he's done
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly.
I can't
Dude,
tell.
I love him in a fucking. He worked with the Samuel L. Jackson or King Kong or something Kong. Just Kong, I think they call it.
Kong. Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
And Samuel was on it playing like this kind of creepy army guy who just couldn't let it go that the monkey killed his man and stuff. Like, come on, get over it.
What's your type of like movies that you like to watch? Are you like a horror or a comedy or like these days? I don't really watch that much TV.
In a way, I like the kind of. I just like when movie teaches you something. I sound quite fucking
I like that
stupid.
Sort of thing. I know what you mean.
But things, for example, like The Pursuit of Happiness, for example, right? That's with Will Smith. It was just incredible. Like teaching about how don't give up, but also so many other lessons, like interaction with your son. It's just beautiful. You learn something. I honestly, even though I work like as a stunt guy and doing the action, whatever, I get so bored of action. Even if I see like, it's amazing. Yeah, you sold that punch in the stomach and you kicked in the head. It looks just like so legit, so real. I'm like, I don't get excitement from it.
Nah.
What I get more excitement is like when someone like you literally learn something.
So you like learning? That's your thing.
Yeah,
like
100%.
learning. I feel like if you like learning, you're always going to be like doing new things. You're always going to be like, there's going to be so many adventures you're going to go on if you always like learning.
100%.
I think that's the best way to look at things.
The way I look at it, like if I stop learning, so I feel like I just stuck. Like
100%, 100%. I think I say that to the same thing with like training. Every day should be a learning day.
Yeah,
should learn something new every single day. Always be a student.
What do you think about when people say like there's no bad training days? It's just training days, because very often someone who's like injured or tired or like literally doesn't have motivation, so they don't go to the gym, and then sometimes when they get to the gym, even though they're tired, they're like, oh, why the fuck am I here and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you get those?
Yeah, I don't really believe in like motivation for training. Like, if I went training every time I was motivated, I'd probably never go. To be honest with you, it's like you said, it's a discipline.
How do you look
thing.
at it? Like you got to do it.
It's discipline. Like you want to do it, and when even in the days when you're tired and you don't want to go, 99% of the time they're your best sessions. You go, like, I've had it before. Like, I go train, I'm sparring, I'm like, I really cannot be bothered. I'm so tired, and you go in there and you put the best session and you leave feeling great.
Yeah.
Like the hardest bit is turning up. As soon as you're there, you put the work in. You're having fun anyway, and you enjoy it.
Yeah, but you see, like I have an experience when I came tired and exhausted, and then I hurt myself.
That's the only thing.
You see, like that's like you need to figure out that balance, or when you're tired. That's why swimming is my savior.
Yes.
If I'm tired and I know like fuck, if I'm gonna go gym, most likely I'm gonna hurt myself because I like to do my flips and all that stuff, right? And then swimming, I'm never gonna hurt myself, and I can totally exhaust myself.
Yeah.
So everyone, start swimming. Including you, motherfucker.
I'll be back to swimming. My ex was actually trying to teach me how to swim. She was like a high level swimmer.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so like when we was in Thailand, she was like trying to teach her how to swim like her, but I just kept losing. So
when we were talking about swimming, I actually wanted to say this, but I forgot it. But like with swimming, so important to learn the technique.
Yeah,
right.
Nah.
It's like I just thought about an analogy. If you learn a swim without technique, it's just like running, but putting your legs in weird.
So that was me. That's
positions.
me swimming, and then we would have a race, and she'd be like, "Zip, gone to like a fish in the water," and I'll be there like, drowning,
because you just do it wrong. That's it. It's simple. It's not because you're weak or whatever, but it's you just do it wrong. So many things like what else we can compare with, like let's say
when I coach people
snowboarding, for example. If you go down like really fast in one line and make one mistake, you just die, or you know exactly what you're doing, you save your energy. It's like
fighting when I get people and they're trying to hit the pads or the bag as hard as they possibly can, and they're not putting any technique in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can get so much more power if you go. You put half the power in, but you get the technique correct.
There you go.
And you got.
I started understanding this only recently, even though I've done karate for so long. Like teaching me like how to extend my shoulder and all that kind of. Yeah,
100%. Well, I've got a lot of guys when their shoulders hurt because they're throwing the hooks, and I'm like, you're throwing that left hook or a right hook so hard, your poor little shoulder can't handle it. You're not turning your hip, you're not turning your foot. Use your legs, use your body, and watch the difference. Look, you can see that you haven't got to put.
It's so crazy also to think about like mechanisms. What involves like you start to turn your toe, then rest of the leg follows. And it just goes through your body and generates all that whip motion power.
You feel it. You feel it going through your whole body. Now when I kick, I feel like my hip whip through my shots. It's mental.
And it's very similar, actually. Again, a good comparison with swimming. If you don't do a proper hip movement, you just fucked.
Yes, that's what I need to learn.
So it's a great analogy. And it's very often when I talk to someone and they don't do something, they stop because they say it's too hard, but then so many of them never learn how to do it properly.
100%.
So how are you allowed to say that this is hard if you don't know how the fuck to do it?
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
It's just makes so many logic for me. Like, you know,
you probably notice it. People give up at the first hurdle. People think things are hard and then they give up. But like, if you keep pushing through, that's normally when the magic happens.
Yeah, but it's so much. But you learn so much, and it's fun to have those weird situations. Like, what the fuck is going to happen now?
Yeah. Not everything's going to be easy in life.
It's crazy how we like. I know I'm so different from some of my peers, like especially from Latvia where I grew up.
Yeah.
It's like when they kicked me out of Canada, like I was like, "Fuck yeah, this is a laugh."
Here we go.
What's next?
I think, like you said, everything is like perspective. You can get kicked out of Canada there and think, right, that's me done. Go on a spiral, and then that's it. Or you can think, all right, that's cool. That was fun. Where am I going to next?
And the craziest thing, I learned that from that book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The habit number 1, you always can choose to be reactive or proactive.
Yeah.
And that, as example, is, let's say if we are driving and I cut in front of you, you have 2 options: be reactive, jump out and start throwing fists and all this, or proactive would be try to get in that person's shoes.
Yeah.
Even if it's not true. Just think about, maybe some of his relatives died, or, you know, he has an alcohol problem, or whatever that is. You know, just think about that.
That's something I like try and practice like every day. Just try and see things from other people's perspective. You don't know what people are going through. Sort of thing.
That's a big one.
Easier said than done, especially with road rage. But it's something I'm definitely trying to utilize.
Because it's like
more.
Crazy. I've been, especially with the bike, you know, like people don't see you. The amount of times I literally would be almost riding and smashing, which I never done before, and never done in my life, but I've seen in videos. It looks so cool to smash the window, the mirror.
Are you gonna say you never done that before?
No, I never done. No, honestly, I know, serious. But you're about to like kind of come cool. What the fuck? And you see this old poor man or lady, like that could be your grandma. Like
that's where you got to look at. That's someone's nan.
And then you just need to fucking kill them and say like it's done.
But like, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? He's on your way out anyway, girl. So fucking, do you know what I mean? Stuff went out of order.
We have this old school story about in Latvia when people get very old, they just put them on a fucking sledge and pull them in the forest in the winter.
What, just leave them there?
In -30.
Is that what they do in Latvia, is it? Fuck me, I'm not getting old out there. I'm staying over here. I thought it was bad over here. They've cut the...
I'll invite you to have their retirement years.
Yeah, I'm staying out there. Latvia. Where is Latvia? That sounds so bad, doesn't it? Where is it, like, on the planet?
I don't know it either.
Like, what's it near? But what's it near?
So where do you think? Where do you think it is?
Like Lithuania, Romania sort of way.
Yeah, we're neighboring with Lithuania, Russia, and Estonia.
Oh, okay.
So those are 3 Baltic countries: Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania.
Yeah.
So we all 3 are bordering together, and we kind of together, even though Latvia, Lithuania are very similar linguistically and culturally, all that stuff. But Estonia is not. Estonia is very similar to Finland and Sweden. So their language is like nothing to do with ours, and very like that. But because we territory-wise we're so close to each other, they kind of decide, okay, that's also a Baltic country.
Yeah,
it's kind of bizarre.
So would you speak Latvian?
Yeah, that's the first language, Latvian, and second is Russian.
What's the sentence in Latvia?
What's that?
Give me a sentence in that.
So what do you want me to say?
Hello, I'm Renars.
Labdien, mani sauc Renars.
God, that's sick. That is sick. I don't even know what you just said. That was sick. I want to listen.
Okay, let's play this game. I will say your sentence in Russian and sentence in Latvian. And then for you to figure out which is which. Okay,
All
ready?
right.
I'm gonna say sentence, today is a beautiful day. Сегодня очень красивый день. Šodien ir ļoti skaista diena.
The first one's Russian.
Yeah? So you recognize it or you just guessed it?
I feel like I'm going to say I recognized it. I feel like I recognized
Let's
it.
do it one more time. So let's see if you're authentic.
Let's find out.
What should I say? I like to sit in a green grass. Мне нравится сидеть в зеленую travу. Man ļoti patīk sēdēt zaļā zālē.
The second one's Russian.
No, so you don't have idea. Oh shit. Okay, one more.
Oh,
That's it. One more.
that.
Okay, something nasty like I like big balls. Мне нравятся большие яйца. Man patīk lieli pauti.
The second one's Russian.
No idea.
Fucking hell. You got them all Russian. I should have stayed it with 1-1-1. Yes.
You fail.
I can barely speak English, to be fair.
Dude, this is the first time I'm doing a game. This is cool. I should do more
Is
games.
this new? I'm thinking of new things. See, this is good. I could,
Do you speak any dialects?
What's that? Dialect. What's that? Dialect.
Dialect.
Languages.
Dialect.
What's that?
Well, dialect, it's a very similar to the language, but it's like Gaelic, I think, for Irish people, is it? Gaelic?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nah.
No, that's for Welsh or...
I think it might be Welsh.
Yeah, I'm not know. Sorry, guys.
I ain't got a clue.
Didn't want to. I just didn't know. So yeah, so it's if you speak the main language, you still can understand someone who speaks with dialect. It's not a different language. So that's why I speak Latgalian, which is similar to Latvian, and it's a certain dialect.
Yeah, nah, this is like...
So I speak literally 4 languages.
See, like I said, I barely speak English. No, I would say I do speak English, but then if you were just like, you could probably pull out some words in English that I wouldn't know. So I don't really...
You need to check. Maybe you're dyslexic.
I reckon so.
It's sexy, by the way.
What, being dyslexic?
These days, yeah.
What about autism? And OCD.
That's a borderline.
What about that one? I reckon there's a bit of autism there.
Funny enough, I was at the comedy show, and the comedian who was amazing. So he straight away opened that he has autism, and I don't know what autism he has because he looked to me very okay.
Yeah, I reckon I could have, like, could be on the spectrum.
Fuck that. I mean, maybe. Listen, I'm doing stupid shit all the time. Maybe I am autistic.
I've done an online. Obviously, these online tests are bollocks, aren't they? But I've done an online test the other day, just having a laugh.
Did you break it?
Yeah, I passed the autism test.
You passed.
So yeah, apparently, yeah, I've got it.
Level 5.
And then I've done the dementia test as well, but I don't remember the results on that one. So. Hey, that was good. That was a good one.
Oh shit!
I called that one out of the looker. But yeah, no, I reckon I'm alright.
Look at you.
I reckon I'm alright with the whole like spectrum
Comedian, a speaker. Come on, man. Look, Sam. It's not only fighting.
Roofer.
I really want to encourage you. No, seriously. On a serious note, I really want to encourage you. Think about you as a person who can do so many more things than just that one thing. And I'm really, I respect when someone is really focused on that one specific thing and they're becoming very proficient. But I'm also a huge believer of idea of jack of all trades.
Yeah, 100%.
And a master of none. And I'm not kidding you. Only a couple years ago, I found out that there's a continuance for this.
Yeah.
It's not just jack of all trades, master of none. And something, but there's continuance in the end saying that even if you're not master of none, being jack of all trades is much better than just being in one thing, right? So, and like when we, used to have our homes and we had like gardens and farms, we had to be the master, like to know everything, right?
100%,
You need to know a little bit of how to do plumbing. You need to do how to look after your cows, like all these things. But now, and it's funny that the main reason why we are so developed as we are?
No.
The main reason what changed everything that because people became very proficient in one specific thing.
Yeah.
So they only would focus their entire life only how to be a tractor driver. So they become the best tractor drivers and they better. So, and because we don't have people who can do many things anymore, fun enough, it is better for society that we doing it whatever. But
You
I
wanna
think
do a
it's
few
not
different
really good
things.
for us as people.
What, to just do one specific thing?
Yeah.
I think 100%. If you're just stuck to only doing one thing, then it isn't like, you're not really branching out, are you? Let's be honest.
But also, like, think about body and physicalities. Like, let's
Yeah.
say the way I've showed this example before, but imagine you have a stick, right?
Yeah.
And there is a sharp edge of a table, and you're going to hit that stick in that one spot
every day.
20 times or 30 times. How long do you think it's before it's going to break?
Not long.
But if you take the same stick and hit higher, lower, you even out, you turn the stick around and all that. And that's how I look at the things.
That's good. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, I actually came up with that.
Just now?
Yeah, no, before that. Like,
That's good. I rate that.
yeah,
one.
because that's exactly how you think, because it's really physical, and this how there's so many proofs that that's in one spot it's gonna bend, is what something happened. So that's why I think you should do a little bit of BJJ, you should do a little bit of swimming, a little bit of gymnastics. Because for example, did you know that trampolining is insanely good for your core?
Yeah, I've heard.
It's like similar how we do the skipping rope, right? But trampolining, because it's more elongated. This whole I don't know. I'm probably gonna butcher the whole kind of what to say theory behind it. But what I heard, and I know that as well for sure. If I haven't done trampolining for like 4 months and then I jump on trampoline, next day I can't move.
Really?
Because there's certain muscle groups which I don't use, right? So this whole time they've been atrophying or just not working.
God,
So that's why it's so important to do, and that's why, like, look, one of the smartest fighters, JP, right? No, JP.
JSP, yeah.
JSP, yeah. So JSP, and he does gymnastics, rings, and all these things.
You need to do like ballet or something. He used to do.
I'm not sure about ballet, but like his first martial art was my martial art, Shotokan karate.
Yeah.
And then he was like doing all that stuff. And funny enough, when I was doing capoeira in Saskatoon in Canada, in Vancouver with Asha Capoeira, they gave me a nickname GSP.
Really?
Because I was buzz cut.
Really?
And kind of a build similar.
Yeah.
Because they need to give nicknames to each capoeiristas.
Yeah.
So I was like, and at the time I didn't know, who the fuck is GSP?
GSP.
Oh yeah, man, he's an amazing fighter.
He is the fucking man, isn't he?
So yeah, so what are the skills you would think would be good, other things, especially to complement? Because like, I believe it's important to complement your main thing. So let's say if you have that decision that, you know, all I'm gonna do is Muay Thai, but what could complement it?
What could complement it? What, like, in what
Like
I'm like?
what are other training? Like let's say swimming could complement it, because it's
100%.
gonna improve the cardio, right?
Things like swimming, running, yoga's a good one as well.
Yeah.
I've only ever really done it once. I done that in Thailand. That was quite cool.
Yoga's really good. I've done it once.
I done it once and I ain't done that again. I was meant to go hot yoga and then I didn't end up going in the end. But then I done one in Thailand and oh mate, the positions she had us in, I was like, fuck this. The best bit was at the end. It was like 45 minutes. We were meant to just basically fall asleep. So I got to fall asleep. So that was great. But nah, yoga's good, swimming's good, running's good. I said people do like all like dancing and stuff like that, and because dancing's good because like fighting.
I think
is
especially
dancing.
like hip hop, for example, like pam 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 all day.
Yeah.
But I think probably all sorts of dancing, like tapping, would be really good.
We've got one of the guys down the gym, Jojo, used to be like a proper high level like dancer, like hip hop dancer, and his movement is so good. Like, and I was speaking to him the other day when he was sparring. And I was like, you need to teach me how to move like you.
Is he the one who comes with the sun?
Nah, he hasn't got a son. Nah, he's short hair, beard, tattoos, sort of thing. Really good IQ.
I'm gonna ask
really
you to send me his photo so we can put it on.
We'll get him on there. Like, the man here, mate. Yeah, he head kicks everyone. He's got a nasty head kick on him.
Background as a dancer.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, but then I was like, you need to teach me how you move. And then he was like, it's all these years from dancing. Next thing you know, he's dropped his gloves and he starts like cutting shapes. And I was like, fuck.
And then he drops his trunks and
I was like, whoa, get out
and
of
the
here.
pole is coming out.
At that point, I'm 10 toes in. I'm spinning a coupe. I'm gone.
Spinning the coupe.
Spinning a coupe. Have you heard that one before?
No.
Yeah, like the coupe, like the car. I'm spinning it.
What is it? What is it?
Spinning a coupe.
Yeah. So
like,
what does it mean?
Coupe's like a car.
Yeah.
So like, say for example, I'm driving. If they say right, spin the coupe, I'm spinning it. I'm going. We're doing a U-turn. We're out of here.
Okay, but it doesn't mean like it's a drifting.
Nah, it's like a U-turn. We're literally going to just
a spin.
Say for example, I'm going this way, and it's like right, what? Spin the coupe, screw, go back round.
Yeah, but it also would go like maybe with a
if you got
handbrake.
you can block it and handbrake.
Dude, in Latvia used to handbrake all the time.
I used to do that in my old car. You used to do it in Latvia, did you?
Yeah, but because we had winters, man. We had snow. We had slippery roads as fuck. Like how you guys here freak out if you have this snow.
Not that much.
Try 2 meters, bro.
Oh fuck that.
Not kidding you. When I was
2
like,
meters?
Yeah, exactly. When I was
What's that, like up here?
10 years ago, 10 years old in my little town, we literally there would be days when we would not go to school because it was too cold. So it would be minus 35 degrees.
Oh, leave off.
Check this out. And snow like literally 2 meters. We would jump off like high roofs, not even putting snow together, just on a flat. And you just like...
See, that's a bit of me. That's fun.
so cool.
So crazy, but I'll do something like that.
That was so cool.
You'd end up jumping on a car or something silly, like, and just breaking my legs.
What's under that? Oh, it's just snow. It's
Oh,
okay.
let's find out. Jump on it. Oh, broke your back. Shit.
Oh, not again.
I remember we never really had mad snow days like that. I remember when we was in school one time, we had like this mad snow like 2 weeks. We didn't go to school for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that was great because it was just causing carnage for 2 weeks.
Oh, so much fun for kids, man. Come on.
man.
And school off for dyslexic Muay Thai wannabe. By the way, with the different sports, like, what did you do before Muay Thai? I didn't ask about that.
Never done any other sports.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Never done any other sports, no.
So you start doing sports when you're 23?
24. Yeah. I've always liked sports.
How
I've always
the
liked,
fuck?
I've always liked football and stuff like that. But I stopped playing football when I went to secondary school, like year 7. I stopped playing, but to be honest with you.
And so what you want to tell me that there were like certain amount of time that you didn't do any sports?
I didn't do sports for all the way up until I was 24. Like I wouldn't even class I even done football. I wouldn't even say I'd done it. I didn't play for a team or nothing like that. I
So
just
you
played
didn't
it
go
at school.
for a run? Did you go for a run?
No, I done my first ever run in 20.
Why?
I don't know. I just never really cared.
That is crazy. I'm like,
I've
literally
done
curious.
the weights, but I never done like I said, football. Like at that point, I was like, it's too late to learn how to play football now, sort of thing. Like I'm not going to make it into a team or nothing like that. I always wanted to do like fighting, but again, I just never got round to doing it because there's always like a stigma,
That's very
like sort of thing. And then during lockdown, I was like, fuck it, let's just go down and enjoy it. And then next thing you know, I'm here and I'm.
But do you
hooked on
think
it.
that could be something to do with like, okay, so you didn't go to college, whatever, you start working, so you'd be like tired, you'd be like,
Mate, to be honest with you, it was just procrastination.
Jeez.
Just being lazy. Looking at things saying, I'd love to do that, but then not going and doing it. It's one of them things. And that's something I try to do now. I just take action on things. If I want to go try something, I'm going to go try it.
So what do you think changed?
To be honest, my life did take a change at the end of like 2020 anyway, with like lockdown and just my life scenarios and stuff like that. And I was like fortunate enough that once I started like Thai boxing, with like whatever was going on in my life at the time, I needed something to focus and give my 100% to. And then from that is from when everything just started leading off, and I then started running.
So was it
started looking after
almost
myself.
like you just needed a very good reason for not to think about
I needed a
what the fuck
purpose.
was going on?
I had no purpose. I had no real purpose. I was just working. I was hitting the weights just because I wanted to look good, sort of thing. I didn't really have no real purpose on it. My diet wasn't. I ate what I wanted. Like
But what happened that became that's what I'm trying to get out of you.
the only thing is like wanting to be a fighter. I've always wanted to be a champion. I've always wanted to be a fighter. That's something I've always wanted to do. I just thought maybe I've left it too late. I'm not going to be able to do it.
And then you thought like that for years.
And
then at some point you're just like, fuck it.
I've always thought like if you want to do something like a sport, that you have to start when you're a kid. You have to start when you're young. If you want to play football, you want to make it good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I've always thought. So when I got to like 18, 19, I thought, oh, it's too late now. Like I missed opportunity.
So you thought you missed opportunity, but then like during COVID, there's literally nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
And then you're like, fuck it. Okay, now I can go.
I see the gym open.
this
I
is
thought, fuck it,
crazy.
let's go down and get. And do you know what the maddest thing is as well? Like when I was speaking to Martin about it, because I did try like sort of combat sports throughout the years, but I just never really got on with it. And the first time I ever tried Thai boxing, I was in like year 8 or year 7. I went there for like 1 week or 2 weeks, and then that was it. And I was speaking to Martin about it, and he was telling me about when he first ever started coaching. And funnily enough, he was my first ever coach in this gym in like Ascot, in this like church in Ascot. He was coaching there when I was like a kid in like year 7, and then follow on like 10 years later nearly.
That's crazy.
He's my actual coach again now. So it's mental like how things like that sort of work out. So I've always wanted to do fighting, but I've just never, I never just got around to doing it. And then obviously when, like I said, all them things I needed something to really focus and put all my energy into, it come around, and luckily I had that
It's so
there.
crazy. It's difficult for me to understand like what you mean by never had a time like to get around it. And because for so many years now, I had such a freedom. Like I already forgot what it means to work 9 to 5 jobs, but I used to.
Yeah.
I used to be office rat like properly.
Same.
And I remember like I was 25 years old, and I felt I was definitely worse shape than I'm now.
Yeah.
I felt I was older, which is
Yeah.
crazy. And then, because we all day staying on a laptop, and in the evenings, so rarely I even wanted to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because I was fucking tired.
Yeah, you don't want to go.
And then I
Can't be
go
bothered.
play some football, get shitty injury because I don't train properly, and then I'll say like, "That's it. Oh, I'm too old." Like,
Yeah, and you
it's
sack it off.
crazy.
It's mental. Yeah, a lot of people say it to me. So when I started fighting, everyone was like, what? Like, everyone was so shocked. When I said I was fighting, people couldn't believe it. On my first fight, I think I sold like 150 tickets.
Wow.
And I think the reason being why is because everyone wanted to see what was going on.
Because you're just so sexy.
They probably wanted to see me to get my head kicked in. I think that's what it was. They was open.
They probably want to see me naked.
Nah, they were probably like, this geezer don't fight sort of thing. Let's go watch Sam get his head punched in. Be fucking great. Do you know what I mean? Little do they know.
Eating popcorn.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? They're there, everyone's front row watch to see Sam get his head punched in. Little do they know. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then it just, from there, everything just spiraled. I just rolled with it. Momentum built up, confidence built up, and then from there, just never looked back. Now I'm coaching, doing it full time. This is my full time job.
So you would say now, also, since you start fighting or since you start training for fighting, your confidence is much higher.
Yeah.
Wow.
100%. Even just in terms of like just walking around day to day.
Yeah, well, that is confidence.
Yeah, just confidence. Like not walking around thinking, all right, I can do you. Nothing like that.
That's what I usually say.
Yeah, I'm walking around, if I'm in Tesco thinking, what, you looking at me, son? Do you know what I mean? No, nothing like that. But it's just like, you just got the confidence to know that.
No, I usually go on the beach when I see a lot of girls in bikinis.
Yeah.
I could, that thing what he said earlier.
What one?
I could do you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's it. I clicked out. I was like, what did you say? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's it. It's just like loads of little things. I was doing things without realising. Even like, I went, when I was in Bali with my ex-bird and we went like to the gym and they, girls do all the hip thrust and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that. And she was like, see if you can like keep up with me sort of thing, XYZ. She does like 200 kilo hip thrust. I'm thinking, that's quite a big number. I don't think I'm going to do that. But I'm thinking, I've got to prove a point to her. And I'm like, I can kick hard, so it must be that. So I've gone wallop, whipped it straight up. She was like, how the fuck have you done that? I was like,
shit. So, and did you try like how much actually you can do?
Yeah, then you just sort of realise like a lot of things. Like my keeper was the same. Like if you looked at him, you think, oh, he may not be that strong sort of thing. But the geezers hit so hard and he can lift so strong or lift so strong or lift so heavy. It's just deceiving. And a lot of things are in like your head as well. A lot of people like put their perception, they look and saying, oh, I can't do that. You haven't even tried it. Yeah. Like, why don't you just try? Like, do you know what I mean? Build it up. Like, yeah,
the thing about the trying, like I so want to chip into this. My kind of, I hate to use this, but like, okay, use it. My red flags for girls are when I ask them, have you ever surfed? Like, do you surf usually? Like, and they're like, oh, not really. Have you ever surfed? Yeah, I tried one time and I didn't like it. I don't want to say the B word. Like, seriously, you need to, give it at least like, 20 times, 30 times, like something, and then realize, okay, that for sure this is not, like I get hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you're not willing even to try something, that's when I don't get it.
I used to be the same with food. Like I used to be a really fussy eater. I still am still a bit of a fussy eater. But like someone would give me something and I'd be like, I don't like it. And they'd be like, have you tried it? And I'm like, no. They're like, well, how do you know you don't like it then? And I'll be like, oh yeah.
Do you have 3 favorite movies or one movie? At least one movie.
I said Step Brothers, didn't I?
Yeah, that was the first movie. Sorry, we so went to fucking different directions.
Yeah, where did that? How did we get?
I love it. Step Brothers, I do like, but you see, I was raised in Soviet, post-Soviet country. Our comedy was always very intelligent.
Really?
So there was no like slap stick and just stupid stuff, which only now, because I understand the sense of humor, more like American sense of humor, I can appreciate the Step Brothers. But like the idea when one of them was just like doing like playing like a baby and just being very silly in the stuff what I've seen as a kid, it wouldn't go at all.
Really?
Yeah. Because like my dad, he saw Ace Ventura with me, and he was like, he couldn't believe, he's like, what the fuck was that? He literally was like, this is not comedy. That's just stupid shit.
Just stupid shit.
Yeah, and honestly, like, whatever we say about Russians and stuff, and like, they have amazing writing, and they're very smart, very intelligent, sense of humor, very good sarcasm. All that kind of stuff is beautiful. And it really pisses me off, and my heart hurts when, all this stuff is going on with Russia. And I have amazing Russian friends, and in Bali, one of them literally ran away from Russia, and now he's a comedian who travels around the world and doing very well, and he's just an amazing dude. My business partner is also a Russian dude, and they literally would freeze his fucking assets. They freeze he had some money in a stock, whatever thing. They just froze it just because of his passport.
Fucking hell.
It's crazy.
This whole I'm not really into like the politics. I don't really understand it all, but like
it's just
all
like,
the war stuff's just mad, isn't it? Like all you see, people tell you everyone getting blown up and all that stuff. It's just fucking crazy.
It's just.
What do you think about Donald Trump?
Hey, let's get political. As much as, most of my information I get from Joe Rogan's podcast, whatever was happening now with elections, right? And, let's say he's biased, but in my eyes, he developed or created such a good kind of the past and what's the word I'm looking for? credibility.
Yeah.
So he created this credibility, like because anything what he was saying before, and I've been following him for years.
Yeah.
I would never trust any other channel and any other source. Like if they would be BBC or whatever, like we know now it's being proved that they all being paid by big farmers and regulated by that. So I would never trust them.
No.
So according to what I hear also from Joe Rogan, and then also there's example, he already was in charge for 4 years. He did very good. Even though everyone was making fun of him, and I thought in the beginning that was a joke,
So
right?
did I.
And then they find out that actually Obama was way worse, and fucking this half dead dude, like, you know.
Yeah, who was the last one?
The Biden.
Biden?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I
He's
don't
like
follow them.
170 years old. Like he barely can slumber one sentence. It's crazy.
I like that Donald Trump just gets shit done. He just gets shit done.
Yeah.
doesn't he? Like
Without-
cuts all the shit,
not
gets it
fucking
done.
around.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's the sort of person I am. Just get shit done. Don't fuck about.
Yeah, and how crazy is this? This podcast is going to be flagged because we're talking about politics. I'm not sure if they're going to do it because the elections already happened. But I tried to boost one of my videos, and we did talk about elections or whatever. But that was like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, because elections are coming, you're not allowed to boost it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So should we cut that bit out?
No,
Oh, okay,
listen, I still can do whatever, but like I also, when I post it, I can cut it afterwards. If they do flag it, I can just take it out.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Because that's why I don't understand all this like uploading stuff and flag and copyright and all this sort of like malarkey. I need to get used to this sort of thing.
Yeah, well, copyrights is like mainly the music what you use, and also like the video, any videos, because they have the algorithm and the sense. Like I don't know how they do it. Like they're a very smart program. Basically, as soon as they see something, whatever, that's why there's a lot of videos which are the sound is faster or slower.
Okay.
And they usually fast it up.
Oh, shit.
And then the algorithm can't recognize that that's
is
they
it?
can't flag it.
Oh, that's mad.
But I'm pretty sure they already to that level where they can do that as well.
AI these days, you can
Dude.
pick everything with AI and chat GPT.
Did you see? Oh man, I saw news. There's a new thing. People somewhere in state, I think it's in States, they have this special mask what they put in their face, which can't do the face recognition.
What? Can't do the face recognition.
Can't do. So apparently, because everywhere you drive, whatever, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So if they have the software of face recognition, they straight away could throw data, which I think they could throw data to Google, whatever, and they literally, they see which area you're at, and they will send you ads which are about that area.
100%.
So if they
true.
say coffee shop is around the corner and coffee shop paid money for them to advertise, it's going to pop out in your fucking screen.
all that stuff, like I said, I didn't believe it for so long. I was like, I didn't believe in algorithms, all that sort of stuff. And then one time, my mum and dad, there
It's
was
a new faith.
That's what I said. I was literally, I was like, nah, like you know, when you like you don't believe in all the theories and all that sort of bollocks. And then my mum and dad went, they do a lot of traveling, and they was away, and they come back, and they had these like Spanish yogurts. I didn't Google it. I didn't do nothing. I just spoke to my mum about it in person. I said, oh, where did you get these yogurts? I ain't seen these before. Next day, I'm getting adverts on my phone for this Spanish yogurt. And I'm like...
For this kind of stuff, I have the biggest proof is I was literally outside here talking to my neighbor about that I want to buy a special spray for the roof because my garage was leaking. Guess what popped up literally
Next day.
a couple hours later. A specific roof spray.
Mate, I hate it.
Right now we have all these things are listening to
How many
us.
things are probably listening to us right now?
And then they're cared, oh, that's a bullshit.
I'm going to have that book of gay coming up on my phone, and I next. Shit.
Book of Gay.
I'm like, is my phone off?
Written by RENARS.
Renard. Yeah, that's what it is. Written by Renard. Shit.
Author. Listen, I think we did super awesome.
You think you
talked about so many things. I'm very happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've had good fun, to be fair.
Yeah. Pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
I just want to wish all you the best luck. One thing, what I definitely need you before we stop this is I have at the end, I ask my guests, what would be your bomb of wisdom suggestion to young Sam or to a Sam who is like kind of, or to anyone who wants to get in martial arts? So let's say first one to young Sam.
First one to young Sam is just don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about what other people think. Do whatever you want to do that makes you happy.
Hallelujah, brother.
That's literally it.
100%.
And that's the way I'm living my life now.
I'm with you.
I don't care what people think. And as long as I'm happy, I don't care.
Yeah.
What other people's opinion of me is irrelevant.
Fuck yeah.
know what I
And
mean?
then now suggestion to new upcoming fighter or anyone who is young and wants to get into fighting.
Anyone who's young wants to come get into fighting, get yourself down the gym, apply yourself, be like a sponge, learn off everyone. Even if, for example, there's someone who hasn't been down there that long and, you know, they're showing you something. Even if you think, for example, you could show me a move and I could be sitting in my head thinking, that's the biggest load of shit. I'm never going to do that again. But I will still sit there with you and look through it and think, oh, okay, you know, that's something I might use. no matter what it is, take advice from everyone and then use it in your own style and just come down and just work your ass off, mate. And then you can go as far as you want. We've got so many kids down there now that 1,000,000%, I'll put any money on it, they will be world champions when they're my age. 1,000,000%. Just
yes,
because they're putting the work in.
Awesome. On this, let's finish this. A little dance. Come on, show me the moves. You got some moves?
Is that a move?
Yeah. And 1, 2, 3, let's go.